And we're back. Oh, Lord. Ah, for frig's sakes. Every time I walk away, I'm definitely going to have to look into this mod situation for real soon. Can't even walk away. Fuck. It's like they're waiting for the BRB thing. God damn. Okay. Hope everybody made it back okay. Didn't DeBrat have like some like assault charges and stuff a while back? Funkified. Yeah. Old school as fuck. Oh, the Bengals. Oh yeah, big storm coming this way too. Oh yeah, Nirvana's a good time, but also a sad time. Okay, let's get back into her, guys. Sorry again about that, for the having to stop and start again. Fucking end up losing some folks every time that happens too, so that kind of sucks, but the show must go on. Hopefully this doesn't hate us also with the Wii TV. I'm not really sure about them yet. If it'll come up or not, and I don't know. I'm trying different stuff to see what works and what doesn't. So you can see that there's all different stuff we're trying this time. Right on. They go nutso cuckoo. All good. Right on. Welcome back, Misty. Welcome back, everybody. Vixen, JB. Glad you guys made it. Angel, Shimon, heyo, Leanne.
Why have you been hitting me back?
I just literally was busy.
You were supposed to be here. We put everything on hold to make sure you're okay. And you're not here. You told us you won't be here at 4 o'clock, right? I left the celeb game early to get here. I dropped everything to get here.
So others know where to find us, yeah.
So
it's like
as
a
big
freak
brother,
flag.
I'm letting you know, like...
Sorry, I should have paused that. Let me go back a little bit. It's a way to let your freak flag fly, in a way. Those funny, you know, fashion statements we've had in the past.
Why have you been hitting me back?
I just literally was busy.
You were supposed to be here. We put everything on hold to make sure you're okay. And you're not here. You told us you won't be here at 4 o'clock, right? I left the celeb game early to get here. I dropped everything to get here. So as your big brother, I'm letting you know, like, Dad's gonna be even tougher on you because you have to build that trust back up, you know?
So what was you?
We just were not near our phones.
So everything cool, you just smiling like it's all good. Cause I've been looking for you for the last 3-4 hours. You ain't doing nothing wrong?
No.
I'm serious. So you need to get serious. This is a serious situation going on. I think when people hide that they have a problem, they'll never overcome it. This is something she wanted to do. This is not something that I wanted to do. She was like, Dad, I want to be better. I want to get myself together.
Dad don't want to have to be super tough for you, but guess what? If you're not responding, if you're not texting back, We don't know what's going on. Anything could happen.
Yeah, you could have been dead. You could have been in jail, anything. You lost my trust. And to gain it back, then you got to start telling the truth. We're going to have to take this drug test. Come on. I'll holler at you later, bro.
All right.
Really opened my mind to see how I would miss you the most because you were always here for me, and I just thought that that trip stopped me from wanting to ever be in Hollywood, seen with those celebrity friends. And I feel like I don't need to go to rehab. I feel like I could actually do good without rehab.
I mean, you say that.
Yeah, it's so messed up. Like, a lot of these families, they don't need a fucking reality show. They need, like, just family therapy or something to that effect. But, I mean, at the same time, it does give us this inner view, you know, this insider's view that we wouldn't otherwise have, you know. Which, this is where it starts getting pretty sad, because this is, like, you know, the last few years leading up to her passing, where it's like, she's, like, trying to be heard out. Like, I don't know if I need rehab. I don't know if I necessarily have a drug problem, but I need more support, and I maybe don't need to be, you know, whatever situation is causing her to want to escape needs to change. She's kind of saying that, like, I don't know if I need to go to rehab, but if we can change, you know, X, Y, Z, then maybe like, I don't want to be out here and around all these LA people and, you know, around the people that are triggering her to use or whatever is kind of what I'm getting from it, like what it kind of sounds like she's trying to say. Like, I just don't want to be around all these people. Like, and even if I go to rehab here, it's not going to help when I come back out and it's the same situation. It's like she was fully trying to vocalize that in these couple clips that I've included when from the series, the Growing Up Hip Hop. So I don't know. Like, obviously it's up for discussion. I would love to hear what you guys think about it, but and knowing what we know and what happened this year with her. So, it does remind you of Leslie Carter, right? Like, this whole situation tastes a lot like the House of Carter's situation. A lot of the same flavors. Different spice, but similar flavor. If that makes any fucking sense.
But on the serious side, I think we should get some professional help just to make sure you stay on track. So, let's not say you don't want to go to rehab. I think you should at least try it, because I don't want you to go back to this.
I have friends that have been through this, and it takes 2 years of being completely sober to really be like, you can walk away from this lifestyle.
Even if somebody...
Like, okay, for sure, valid also, like, good points too, but, like, I don't know, it might not have been what she needed at the time, and it's like they were just trying to tuck her away and be like, here, no, just go over here, they'll fix your problem, and just do what they say, and everything's gonna be fine. Like, to keep her within their grasp, you know what I mean? Like, you know, can't let you go over there and deal with your issue and get away from it all and have, like, a normal life for 2 minutes away from all the chaos of Hollywood. You know, like, come do rehab right here, and it's gonna be this way. Like, no wonder she's got drug problems, you know what I mean? Like, no wonder she wants to escape so badly if she has, like, she can't even make a fucking choice of how she wants to treat her own, you know, her own mental situations.
Bring something around you. I don't want you to go back to, like, oh, I'm just gonna have a little drink, or I just wanna take a little smoke or something. You gotta be around, like, to me, I could be around people that's drinking and smoking, and I don't want it.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, they're both making valid points, but, like, I think she really was trying to, for sure, Vixen, I think, like, she was really trying to say what she needed and what she felt. And they're like, no, like, you need to just go to rehab. Like, you're going to fucking Malibu around the corner. Like, we want to keep an eye on you, and we don't want you to just go back to the same shit. And she's like, well, I'm obviously going to end up going back to the same shit if I go in here for 30 days and come back out and I'm in the exact same situation with the exact same people all the exact same time, you know? Like, I think this is where a lot of the time treatment fails, because, yeah, you go in and you get away and you do all this progress and you get sober. But if you're coming back out to the exact same shit, the exact same situations, then there's still so much work to be done, and then they're just kind of out on their own without any of the tools and the resources and the people that were supporting them, you know?
I really hope that Tata is serious about making a change. In my house, I'm a drill sergeant because you need somebody to tame you and to tell you, we're going to fix this. By us doing this with my daughter, hopefully we'll send that same message to her mom.
Which, also, the way that you got to approach stuff with women versus men, which I know, we're not allowed to fucking define men and women anymore, and it's, it's gotta be so, fucking fluid or whatever the fuck's going on nowadays. I don't know. No disrespect to anybody or anything, but I think this is where, yeah, he's trying and he thinks he's doing the right thing, but women need a lot more emotional support through stuff like this. It's not just okay, man, we're gonna get off the drugs and then let's go play some basketball and we'll go look at some tail and you know what I mean, and maybe that's a little bit fucking I don't know, sexist or something. I don't know. One way or the other, I can be sexist against everybody at some point. I don't know. Maybe I'm not even from this planet. But you know what I mean? I feel like the approach is a little too burly in some cases, when the dad's so dominant in the family and the mom's a little checked out, it's she's not getting that emotional support she needs from the person that's taking the most control of the situation. And it's I feel like they kept pushing her into this box, this is how we treat it in this family, try to push her to man up, where with some men, that kind of works, which, for a time, though, because we're learning over time that doesn't work, and it can end up, manifesting in other negative ways when you just keep burying and burying and burying all your shit, right? But, I don't know. Yeah, fair, okay, good. I was I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little bit, I don't know. I never want to offend anybody or be, insulting of anybody on one side or the other, but that's fair to say, right? You guys all agree? For the most part, Vixen and Angel are on my side, at least.
If you need to get help, we're here for you.
But they're not. They're if you want to get help, we're here for you to drop you off over here with these people to deal with your shit, and then you're going to come back out to the same thing. Right? Exactly. You can't get sober and have the exact same everything happening. She's very clearly saying, but then do you see how she just kind of gets quiet and she's okay, yes, big brother, yes, dad, yes, whoever. And you know what? Maybe they do all have really good points, and maybe, they do mean well and they have the best of intentions, and maybe we could all learn a bit maybe from it of sometimes, there's two sides can be right, but doesn't mean one way or the other is more right, or wrong.
It was good.
Well, yes, also that, which, I'm not sure if if it mentioned it in this clip, or if it's later, but, pardon me, or if I ended up cutting it out because it was, one sec. Oh, sorry, I was coughing. Or if I cut it out because, there was a lot of footage. I was trying to throw it together in the last couple days for you guys, and ended up with an hour and a half of shit, of course. So I might have cut it out, but she was talking about writing a book, an expose, and then this. So, and now the mom's been talking about it, though. The mom's been talking about writing a book, so I don't know. I don't know. But yes, Siobhan, this is why we're doing this. This is why we do these streams, so that, we can kind of try and unwrap the mystery packages in all these celebrities' lives.
So you just gonna walk in here like nothing ain't happened, like it's just all good. I feel like you let the family down. You had an event, it's about being responsible. You should have been there, because this was your event, this was your idea.
I honestly don't feel like I left you hanging. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel you gotta make the best decision for you. I see my life a certain way. I just seen that was the best decision for me to make at that time.
So that's just it. Everything gonna go your way, so I just need to just chill.
Everything gonna go your way?
I'm just saying.
I just feel like when I give my word for something, that's it. It is more important than a contract or anything. I have to show up when I give my word.
So here we go again, though. The dad's pissed because, like, they're supposed to be into business together, and Romeo's starting to push back, like, nah, like, I didn't want to do it. Like, just because you thought that's what was happening doesn't mean that I agreed to that's what was happening. He's like, you know, you made the commitment for me, but that doesn't mean that's not, I want to keep going along with that all the time for the rest of my freaking life, you know? Like, he wants to forge his own path. He was talking about wanting to go into doing films, and he wants to do whatever, different stuff. Films was one of the main things, but like doing the basketball thing, he's, you know, whatever different ventures, he wants to probably be doing them more on his own and choosing for himself versus, you know, having everything dictated and having everything decided on by the dad. Like, he's allowed him to take over the company and stuff, but then not letting him take over the actual control and learn it for himself.
And that's the lesson I want to teach him.
When that show go away and it's over, what are you gonna do? I want you to be a man. I want you to be a boss. I want you to do your own thing. But when you make a commitment, your word got to be it. Because that's all I had.
Well, that's why that was a hard decision to make. But at the same time, I know you've been in many predicaments where you got to make a decision right there and now. You got to let somebody down. So.
Well, you know what? I can't make no mistakes. It ain't no mistakes we could do. If I make a mistake, we done. So who gonna be there to clean it up if I make a mistake?
Who gonna clean these burnt eggs up?
I mean, yeah, like, it's the workaholic thing's such an iffy thing because it can be so bad in the long run, but in some cases it can be such a beneficial thing, like, to get you to a point, but then once you're comfortable and once you're good, like, you got to know how to find that balance and you got to know how to maintain it in such a way and work smarter, not harder, and all those things, you know? But I guess it's definitely one of the lesser of several evils, you know? Workaholism is, you know, it's, I guess, like the least damaging to yourself and others than the rest.
Today with a very special guest, Miss Sonia Miller. She is the ex-wife of Percy Miller, aka the rap music mogul Master P. Today, Sonia is going to talk to me exclusively for the first time about her life, her marriage, and unfortunately, the messy divorce from Master P.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the guilt tripping, like, oh, like, you're, like, trying to, like, make him feel like less of a man and trying to put him down, like, put down his character, like, him as a businessman, when really it's like you're just pissed that you didn't get to benefit off him, like, that he no longer wants to serve you, that he wants to do his own thing, is really what it's coming down to. Like, especially because we know, well, maybe you guys don't all know just yet, but the feud right now is based on the money mismanagement and feeling that he hasn't been paid what he is owed, and that it was 15 years of being apart and being the face of this Rap Snacks venture that they went in on together, and he only just finally was cut a check for that, so, and I don't know, there's all this stuff coming out this week, so we'll get there, it's happening, it's coming. Don't need to get ahead of myself here. But this is around the time they finally were doing the divorce. They'd been separated for a while, but in August of 2017, they're starting to look into the divorce. So this kind of also contributed to the dysfunction in the family and having it becoming fractured between the father and the mother. And then obviously Tatiana, I'm sure, felt divided and torn between the father and the mother, where for Romeo and the sons, it was a little bit of an easier choice. Of course, they're going to feel more bonded with their father. They're doing all the sports and all this other stuff together. You know, he was pretty involved as a father overall, which was, you know, pretty commendable considering. Maybe not with all of the kids. I don't know how he got to going by the, you know, 5th, 6th, 7th kid. But with Lil Romeo, he was really hands-on with taking him with, you know, to do all the sports and stuff on top of all the other ventures. He was like the captain, or not the captain. Sorry, Lil Romeo was the captain of the team, but the dad was the coach when he was in high school. So it was like he was always involved. Which also, actually, now that I'm saying it, he maybe just, like, never wanted to let Lil Romeo out of his sight. And actually, he mentioned something at one point about even at 18, he had a curfew of, like, 8:30. Which, on one hand, probably kept him out of drugs and trouble and alcohol and stuff. Like, it didn't get him all caught up in that shit and get some girl pregnant at whatever time early. Maybe, like, trying to avoid him having kids, starting to have kids too young, like the way maybe he felt he did. But now that I'm saying it all out loud, it's like, like, he really was like, I'm going to have you under my thumb. Constantly. So no wonder they're pushing back. No wonder Tatiana's like, I'm going to do it my way. I don't want to be near you or your people. Romeo's like, I'm trying to get out here and do this my way, but I ain't getting paid. Like, the guy, all my money and everything I have is tied into this shit with my dad, and he's fucking wants me under his damn thumb. Yep, I don't know. This is starting to go sour in my mouth. The flavor of this is going a little south.
Hello, Sonia. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you. I'm a rap mogul. I've been rapping since high school. Lived in New Orleans, born and raised. Basically had businesses all my life, ever since a little girl. And just like, you know, here to just let you guys know a few things that's going on in my life.
I want to get to the name No Limit, and you spoke about being a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. Tell us about how the name No Limit came into play.
Okay, first of all, No Limit, it came in play with the record store. We had a Mamas and Pop record store that was open, and it turned into a record label. And from there, you know, corporations and.
Nice. So you yourself are a rapper. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Oh my goodness, I fell in love with hip hop when I was in high school. Like if anybody know me from my high school, they know that I was a rapper. That's all I did in school, rap. That's what I liked. That was my passion. And that's what I did.
So let's go ahead and move into the time frame of when you met Master P. Tell us about when, where, and, you know, how did you meet Master P?
Oh my God, it was a lovely time meeting Master P, I must say, at that time. And we met in high school. We both are from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah. Like, for sure. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, it can be good in a short spurt to, like, really hustle and grind. But if you're using it to avoid the emotional stuff and whatever, you know, unresolved issues or childhood stuff, then it's definitely not, you know, you always got to have the healthy coping mechanisms and balance and everything, you know, everything in moderation. But sometimes you need that little boost, that little extra, you know, to be able to set yourself above the rest, you know. And yeah, perfectionism sometimes can be a benefit, but could also be, you know, a huge negative. And then, yeah, if the more you put stuff off and the more you're delaying dealing with your shit, the more it's going to cost you in the long run. Absolutely. Like, I mean, this is why there's so many people that are, you know, 50s, 60s, 70s even, that, you know, they have 20, 30 years of sobriety under their belt, but they still have all these addictive behaviors and things that they're doing that aren't healthy for themselves, but to an extent it's accepted by society, you know, like food, gambling, porn, shopping, working, you know. They've replaced their addiction with something else instead of, like, something more socially acceptable rather than actually dealing with the issue and the reason for their drinking, the reason for their using drugs, you know? All of that's kind of glazed over for decades. That the way we've dealt with addiction and trauma and everything has been so fucking backwards, man. And it's so, like, we focus so much on the problems, like the results of trauma, like the symptoms of trauma, rather than what created the trauma and why there's trauma and how to, you know what I mean? I think a lot of families too are like avoidant, like overall of trauma and emotions. Like everybody's like, just ignore it and it'll go away. You know, especially fucking families from like the 50s and 60s. Like, you know, they're people that were born, like, say, the 60s, 70s, and, like, their parents were, you know, alive through the 30s, 40s, 50s. That whole generation, man, is just, like, just put it under the fucking rug because we don't have time for that. Like, there is a war happening. You might get shipped off to Vietnam. You know, the whole world's getting taken by LSD. You know, like, there was just so many other fucking things going on, and the threat of another depression, and the threat of, fuck, in the 80s, like, fuck, right now we're at, like, the 40-year high of inflation. So, like, 82, basically, was the last time we had, like, the biggest, you know, recession, next to, like, I guess, well, 2008, and there was obviously other things that happened, but we're definitely at, like, a 40-year high right now, as far as inflation and, you know, the disparity goes. So, I think, this is our great war, you know? This is our Vietnam right now. Everything we're going through this last couple of years, like, it's like a psychological war. It's a medical war, a digital war. It's like spiritual war. It's a whole fucking different thing, man. And, yeah. I don't think anyone's actually prepared for it because we've been pushing down our emotions and psychological demons and all that shit for fucking 50 years since the last time, you know, there was a whole big thing, or 100 years ago or whatever. Like, fuck, the last time it was really this bad was, like, fucking the 40s, really. Like, for the way things are going and how many people are fucking passing and, oh, man, fuck. We'll save that for another day, though. That's a whole fucking rant for a goddamn another day. Did you know... in Canada, anyway, I don't know about it in the States, but in Canada, like, the credit score, your credit score, was not even introduced till 1989. So, like, all these people, these older folks, and then, like, also keep in mind, we talked about the other day how, like, through the 20s, 30s, 40s, coming into the 50s, there was more regulations, but cocaine, heroin, you know, amphetamines, all these different narcotics were brought into brought to society by the government, by chemists, by pharmaceutical companies, and then brought in, introduced to everybody. So, like, even our forefathers of psychology and shit, like Sigmund Freud was a cokehead. He literally wrote love letters to cocaine. And he was a young guy, like, he's like around 28, and then through the peak of his career and coming into, like, his older age, he was a fucking full-blown cokehead. You know, and most of the people, they were high on their own supply, like the chemists and the psychologists, all those different people that are administering these drugs and giving prescriptions for them, they were all doing them. They all had something they were into, and if not, they were all drunk because the fucking drinking was safer than water. Like whiskey, they had places like in factories and shit where they had like a barrel of whiskey with a cup that everyone shared the cup, by the way, and it was filthy, and everybody's shit's filthy, their hands are filthy, nobody washed their fucking hands, so no wonder there was so much disease. But anyway, it was safer to drink the whiskey than it was the fucking water. So, anyway, that's all what our whole society's built on, is that fucking crazy time. Everybody drunk and on blow, writing down their thoughts about dreams and analyzing people's brains and doing experiments and shit. That's what everything we know is based on tonight. Or not tonight, but based on now. Like, everything that we know now is based on a fucking time that was so fucked. Like, we need an update. We need an update to how addiction and trauma and all these things are dealt with. And probably by people that aren't fucking addicts. You know, like, even, and we were talking about it the other night, how, like, AA was founded by a guy that was heavily into LSD, you know? Which, some psychedelics and certain mind-expanding drugs can be useful when dealing with anxiety or depression, trauma, whatever. But, holy fuck, everything's fucked. And then now it's like, it's almost getting more and more heavy. It's passed to the next generation. Like, now, the fucking, what are we leaving behind for the kids, man? Like, at this point, holy shit. We need a trauma chat one night. Like, yeah, just like the topic of trauma in general. I think we do that all the time, kind of, though. But yeah, no, totally. I'm with you on that, Jamie. And hey, you made it, Twyla. What's going on? Just got here about 5 minutes ago. You came at the right time. I'm right in the middle of a very passionate rant. People don't even realize they're under attack because it's a silent attack. Exactly. We're not on a battlefield. Fuck, we skipped sending drones to hospitals and schools and bombing, like, killing all these women and children in, like, these remote areas that have nothing to do with us. And now they're just, like, attacking us in our own land, in our own brains, with our own medical system and our own freedom. They're just taking it all away. We live in a giant fucking concentration camp. Okay, we're getting touchy here. We're gonna get shut down one day if I keep going on like this. So, let's get back to the video. I'm gonna shut up now. Save it for another day.
And we met, basically, we really first touched eyes when we were at a nightclub. And we realized that we were all, like, in the same area with the schools. So our schools was close. He was on the basketball team. I was a cheerleader. So then we kind of, like, fell in love, like sweethearts, teenage love. And, yeah, and we were really teenagers. We were very young when we met. And, you know, and it was a lovely thing when we met. We just was so in love, like.
How long were you married for?
We were married for 23 years before going into this divorce.
Okay, that's a really long time. And you had a big, wonderful family. How many children together?
7 kids all together, yes.
You don't look like a mother of 7, my dear.
Well, thank you.
Well, you know. Do we even need to say where that might be?
Thank you.
Yes. So, you know, growing up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and then meeting Master P and you guys, you know, formulating No Limit, the record label, there was quite a contrast, I believe, from your roots to now being thrust into the music industry. Tell us about how it felt reaching to that peak of No Limit Records.
Right, coming from New Orleans ground up, that's where I came from, which is a nice place. I love New Orleans. That's my hometown. Look, shout out to New Orleans. So now I'm in the big LA. That's sorry, New Orleans. But yeah, growing up, you know, in New Orleans, yeah, it was different from being in LA. So we made we made a big progress, I must say. And it's just living a little larger. It's like you still have bills to pay, so it don't get no easier. To me, it's more work, and you have to put more work into it to keep where you are. So.
Oh yeah, Bill was A's Timothy Leary. You got it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I've studied all that shit. I did some videos on that like a long time ago, and I had them on here. But then I was pretty sure I was shadow banned. Like nothing was happening, and I had been getting pretty good traffic, and then it kind of just dropped right off, and it was a little weird. So I got rid of them for now. I thought about putting one on Rumble, but I go way into like the history of psychedelics, the experimentation that happened post World War II and leading up to the 70s, or mid 70s is when it finally ended and the Senate hearings began. Oh man, like fuck, the stuff I go deep dark on is not safe for YouTube. Too hot for YouTube. But it's like, I don't want it to go to waste, so I'll probably do something with it sometime. I guess I'm just kind of like, you know, waiting for some dust to settle, because it seems like a lot more people are waking up all on their own now. Like, if nothing else, this past 2 years has given a lot of people time to really do some introspection and self-reflection and looking at what's really going on in the world. It's kind of working against them in some ways.
If you know you're coming from down low or you're coming from ground up and you work hard, you can really make it to the top. And that's what we did. We worked hard, you know, and we did things basically from ground up, and then we exceeded to the top. And
like, honestly, this is like mild compared to the stuff I was trying to do before on YouTube that was just not okay. Like, this is like, I found my way around being able to like talk about stuff without talking about stuff, but while making it enough that you guys can kind of get it. Like, because obviously you guys know that some of the stuff that was tested and tried out through the you know, the 50s, 60s, and 70s, that obviously it went into real world application. Like, there were manuals and things written to be used by the military and so on and so forth. Oh yeah, like, I went hard into, like, how certain people were, like, prototypes and then disposed of, and then there was so many of the same ones. Like, look at Jane Mansfield, look at MM. I'm not even going to say the names because I feel like I'm already saying too much for YouTube. What was the other one? Like, even Judy Garland at a certain age. Shirley Temple. They all sort of fit a certain template. Britney Spears. Oh, fuck. Yeah, maybe I'll do, like, maybe, like, for a members only thing. Or something, like, and I'll do it on Rumble. I don't know. Because, you know. But yeah, okay, let's get back to the main topic here, because I'm going fucking way off again. This is what happens. Look at what happens.
You guys made it.
Lovely, and you did.
Behind every good man is a good woman.
Oh, dude, Twyla, I am fucking obsessed with, like, the whole 60s. Between the 60s and the 90s was a very interesting time, and I think, like, 100 years from now, they're going to study it in such a way, because it's, like, the last of the Mohicans. You know, like, the last real humans, the last of the human connection. Like, the whole idea of Woodstock, like, everybody decided to protest, and they had 750,000 people show up for this shit and all get along and not cause fucking problems. And somehow they all knew to go there. Like, the word of mouth and, like, the power of connection and, like, oneness. Holy fuck, like, we'll never get back there again. We lost that long ago, and then, like, the 90s was pretty much the last of actually going and, like, hanging out with your friends outside, riding bikes, like, you knew where your friends were because the bikes were all, you know, where everyone's bikes were on the front lawn, you know, stuff like that. You were all playing in the creek or catching frogs or playing on the playground, doing, like, real shit. Now everybody's fucking strapped in, staring at a screen. And, you know, like, not judging, because it's like, this is just what it is now. And how do you fucking raise a kid in a world that's what all their fucking friends are doing? You're just going to fight them all the time, or you gotta kind of cave in to an extent, you know? It's a whole thing. It's a whole fucking thing. Anyway. Okay, yeah, getting back to the freaking video here.
And so, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times you don't get the credit that you deserve for being there holding down the family and the foundation. So I know in the music industry it can be difficult when you're married to a rap mogul with the groupies and the side chicks and all that kind of thing. Did you have to deal with any infidelity or any, you know, issues during the time of your marriage with Master P?
Okay, yes, you know,
It was a, like, united, coordinated, arranged by government agencies thing that were, like, operating under the guise of like, sub companies, giving grants to various, like, scientists, psychologists, teachers, different agencies, like military bases, for them to be able to do these different experiments. And none of them knew that the others existed. None of them knew that they were actually being funded by the government. And some of these people were getting, like, way out of hand, and those people were being rewarded for that shit. Like, if you look up, like, Dr. Ewan Cameron, look up John Money, like, look at all this fucking gender ideology bullshit happening right now, which, you know what, if you're an adult and you're doing whatever the fuck you want with another adult behind closed doors in the privacy of your own bullshit, like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you want to do. But the shit going on right now, like, with that shop teacher wearing the giant fucking prosthetic tits to fucking class, like, doing drag in school, all this shit, the drag shows in schools, and all this fucking shit, man, like, none of that's okay. Like, there's introducing kids to, like, the concept of, like, same-sex marriages and, like, different mixed kind of families and whatever, but they don't need to know about sexuality and fucking fetishes when they're 5. Do you know? That's a whole other topic for another day. Oh, we had to skip the clip that shows all of them because we were getting notifications about it, so we had to stop or restart. So, but yeah, she got a ton of kids.
basically, as far as groupies, I know he probably has so many groupies. I never worried about any girls because I knew I was his wife, and you know, and I respect my husband, so I was hoping he'd respect me.
Hey, welcome, Gin Magic. Interesting. Yeah, like, I saw a clip about how they offered all this stuff to sign, but then that person ended up owing for it. So I don't know if that's what you're referring to, Jin, but...
And as far as one time, yes, I was kind of brokenhearted because he told me he had another kid. But he did come to me as a man to tell me that. But like I say in my book, you guys will hear like a lot of more of that story to be told. I'd rather not go into that detail so far.
All right, gotcha. So she just dropped that little tidbit. There is a book coming. You guys better, stay tuned for that.
Percy walked out on me, and I think he kind of I thought maybe he was going through this man kind of transaction. So I gave him like a 3-year go and do it maybe, because men go through things. But then it wasn't. It was a little more. He wanted to really leave. And then after that, I found out that it was really like heartbreaking to me that you walked out on me and my kids. I just went to my heart and my inner self saying, you have to continue your life and you have to go on. So it was like I went to get help from a lawyer to help me to file a divorce because I didn't want to stay in that situation.
That is a situation. That was a situation. So last year you were quoted saying Master P used the kids to mislead the court in legal documents. Can you elaborate on that?
I can elaborate because that is not true. I never lead my kids to anything distractive. I only lead my kids to things that's positive. And of course, I am positive. And that's the way I wanted him to keep it. But I think when you go through a divorce, it's always one of the, parents that want to kind of lead a little more into what it isn't. And I think that's what Master P did. Probably not meaning it, just coming out being angry maybe in his heart. Because my kids, they love me, and I love my kids, and I love my family.
All right.
Dad would always have love. I will always have love in my heart for him because of his kids.
And you were together for over 20 years. I mean,
it's no way, So regardless if we are divorced or separating or whatever, I just wanted to be a smooth divorce without the kids being involved because it takes a toll on your kids for real, and it have.
So I read somewhere on a talk show, I think it was the Wendy Williams show, that Master P gave some sort of an apology to you. But he also said that your drug use destroyed the family and that you were living on welfare with Romeo.
And that, I don't know where that comes from, drug use and destroying the family. My family are tight. I am the rock of the family. I am their mother. You can ask any one of my kids, I'm the rock of the family. And I'm going to continue to be the rock of the family. So I don't know where he get that from. There's some narcissistic kind of like things that's coming from him, I guess, because none of that is true.
That's unfortunate because a lot of what I saw on the internet did portray you in such a bad light, and a lot of these clips, I actually saw this clip, I think it was TMZ again, where they were interviewing him as he was coming out of court, and I think he had some of the kids with him, and they kept reiterating something about drug use. So just to clarify once again, are you using drugs or were you using drugs?
To clarify, no, I won't.
All right. Well, we definitely glad to hear that. We're definitely glad to hear that. How is your...
I could say back in the days when I was growing up, everybody go through a little something. I'm not going to even just say I'm like no perfect person, but no, right now, I'm grown and I want to mature and I want to get the wisdom to be here for my kids. So no, I'm not into none of that. I just want the world to know that.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad that we have this opportunity so that you can tell the world that, because I want for your story to be heard as well, not just the other side of the fence. Yeah. Is the divorce final?
Right now, I'm thinking it is. I mean, we've been going through court. My lawyers, they kind of dropped me recently, so I guess I have to figure out what's going on. But as far as I know, yes.
Okay, so the divorce is final. And how do you think your kids, they were so thrown into the mix of all of this, how do you think your kids feel about you and about Master P right now?
Well, my kids, they're doing pretty good now, but at first it was very hard on the kids. It was hard on me. I cried plenty of nights missing my kids because he wanting to take the kids, and that was totally out my question because I love my kids. I raised them, and once they left me, I felt empty. And I think they did too. But I always stay in touch with them and talk and pray with them. So I think they got it to where they know their mom is all right, and they growing now, they're getting older, and they can see the picture much better. And the kids are great with me. And with their father right now, they're doing great with their father. I let the boys do the sports with their father. And me, I want to take care of my girls as I did, which I took care of all. But I think it's kind of like a balanced thing. I've been with my kids all my life, so he deserves it. He deserves to be with them now.
What's the relationship right now with you and Romeo?
Romeo is my baby, and he will always be my baby. That's my number one. But I never choose over my kids. I love them all the same. They will tell you that. But Romeo is an outstanding young man, and right now I think that this divorce put a lot on Romeo as far as his career, and I was so upset because me being in the divorce and having to go with lawyers, they saying things on TMZ, which wasn't the truth, half of it. And, and they got Romeo mixed up saying, like, I sued my son. I'll never sue my son. And they mixed it up, and they wanted to make the words sound like that. That's not true. And
well, I wanted to make that point again because yes, it was said very clearly on TMZ that you had sued Romeo.
Oh, never. Romeo and his daddy has the same name, so they need to get their stories together. Okay, I'm not suing my son. I'm getting a divorce from his daddy. My son has nothing to do with his father and I, really. Yeah, and I really was sorry that he was kind of involved. And I apologize, Romeo. Mama love you to death, man. I never would do you that. And basically, yeah, that's what happened. But right now, me and Rome, we pretty close. We went to South Beach just recently and had us a wonderful time.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think, right now what I want for him is his doors to open for his career and for him to live his life and not to be in mama and daddy's mess. He don't need to be in this mix.
Right. So the divorce started back in 2014, and so it went on for like 3 years, almost 3 years. Really, you've never come out and spoken about anything that's been going on. Why are you speaking out now?
Well, because the time when it was going on, I just felt it was a bunch of nonsense. It wasn't the truth. I don't speak on nothing that's not the truth. And then I felt like to collaborate with that nonsense is just a bunch of mess. I'm not a messy person. I'm a loving person, a caring mother. I have a family. I have my mother, my sisters and brothers. I have people that love me. So, it was no need for me to just be all over the blob and trying to express myself. I figured it would be a time, and I just waited my time.
Classic.
Right now, I felt like I need to let the world know because I want to move on to bigger and better things that's about to happen. My doors are about to open.
So we know that there is a book coming, and I happen to know that Sonia's involved with some other media and some other big things coming down the pike. I guess we won't go into it now, but I want you guys to. Are you on social media at all?
Well, I do have a Facebook and an Instagram, but I go on and I go off.
Well, you guys will just have to, keep Googling for Miss Sonia C. Miller. Yeah, she's not doing that whole social media thing right now. Sonia, is there anything else you want to say? Is there anything else you want to say to your kids? Anything you want to say to Master P? Anything else that needs to be clarified?
Well, yes. I would like to tell my kids I love you guys dearly. Mama's sorry that all this ever happened. I never wanted it to happen. I never even asked for a divorce from your dad. That's the husband, but your father. And as far as your father, I just want him to be happy and move on with his life. And, if we're going to have a divorce, we do it the right way for the kids to make our family happy, and we can always be friends. And for him to move on so I can move on. Because there's somebody there waiting for me.
Oh, she said there's somebody waiting for her. I like that. You go, girl.
Nice to see you too. I heard these rumors about Chris and Adonis being together, and that's just our life. People are always gonna talk about what they don't know about. All right, I need to talk to you, okay?
Oh,
Since
no.
I got you here.
What's going on, Rome?
Oh, great. I just hope Romeo doesn't make a big deal about Adonis coming today.
You always give me the best advice. So,
All right, thank you.
yeah, you do.
Appreciate that.
But I've been dating. You know, I've been putting myself out there.
You've been dating.
Yeah, you know.
Wow. Are you thinking of settling down?
It's like, my name Romeo. I need to find my damn Juliet. That's what I'm trying. Lately, I've been going on a lot of dates. This entire day is about you.
I already know what I want to do.
I'm trying to open up. Let's go to the hot tub. And whatever happens, happens.
Nice
All
work.
right. That's too much for a person.
You need a woman that's gonna help elevate you.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you guys will be a power couple.
Yeah.
Like you need somebody that's also gonna be busy and doing her own thing too.
Yeah.
I think you should be with somebody like Angela.
Yeah, but maybe not a woman that's engaged.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, not me and Ange. We on the up and up.
Okay, good. So you guys are like rekindling everything. So
Better
let's
late
do
than
it.
never. At the end of the day, Ange could have just hit me up. If I knew she wanted babies, I could have just gave her a few right there.
Yep, oops. I meant to cut that shit out. I was gonna just wait to see him. I was kind of like, oopsie. But I didn't know if anyone was even gonna notice, so I wasn't even gonna say anything, but I guess you noticed. Sorry. I meant to clip that end part off there, but it's whatever. At least it was fucking blurred. He's come a long way. He is a full-grown Romeo now.
You notably fought very hard for your children.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, there's a lot of fathers out there who are like, going through things with their significant other,
Yeah.
and they probably should have custody of their children.
Yeah.
What do you say to those guys who feel like there's no shot in hell that I can get custody of my kids?
Man, put it in God's hand. Put it in God's hand and keep doing the right thing. Because as a man, when you go into the courtroom, they don't even want to hear what you got to say. And they don't, now it's crazy that they don't even want to hear what the kids got to say if they're not over 18. So it's a tough road. You just got to put it in God's hand, and the truth will prevail. And that's what happened for me. I've been raising my kids, and I had to do what I had to do as a man, but I also had to build a friendship with my ex at the same time. So, you got to get over all the other stuff and just be like, you know what, let's just work this out for our family and do what's right. And that's what I decided to do.
And you haven't remarried since then, correct?
No.
Is it hard? Because, I would imagine, you know what I'm saying? Because,
It ain't hard for him because Romeo just said he can't even bring too many girls around because they end up trying to holler at him.
But that's the thing, because people know the repertoire.
Come see full-grown Romeo and Lil Romeo now. Tell your friends. He's here till Thursday.
They know how heavy the pocket is.
But you know what? I'm more focused on my kids and what.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Fuck, but Nickelodeon, man, I wouldn't put it past him, really. Those the hot tub interview videos that fucking Dan Schneider had Amanda Bynes doing and shit,
I gotta do for my family right now. So all the other stuff will happen, it'll come, but I was telling Rome the other day, I'm really not if you with a female and then she done showed all her goodies on social media like that. For me, I'm old school, so that right there, that's a red flag for me. It's it's good for a night, but after that, you know what I'm saying? It's I don't know, that's just me. And
you can't respect
and the millennials, they like it. They'll go, oh, well, she been with him, and they take her home and marry her. But I'm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Good callback, Vixen. That was funny. Oh, fuck. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Or not sorry for some of you that enjoyed it, but sorry, folks. I didn't mean to cut that out for sure, but I was kind of I literally, the video finished rendering, right on time to get the stream started. I even ended up being a few minutes late to start because I was waiting for it to finish, so I was kind of rushing a little bit at the end here to get it ready for you guys and clipped and all those things, so I apologize. I'm just glad it was blurred because that would have been a YouTube oopsie.
But I get it, different strokes for different folks, but, I'm be like, you got to cover that thing up. That's just supposed to be for me, if it's for me. You know what I'm
So
saying?
I take it you would never go on a Bachelor.
Nah. I don't need to do that, man. Like, it's all about where I meet a woman at, too.
So where does a guy like Master P go to meet women?
I better meet her in the library or somewhere cool.
Man, come on, y'all. He been in the game for a minute.
Yeah.
So
No, but
the
but I
women
know
have
there's a lot of
been
people that
knocking
come
on
at
this
him because they want.
Yeah, no, I know, Dan Schneider. Were you here when we were talking about it earlier or no? Maybe you weren't even here for it, so it's funny that you brought it up, because we were definitely just talking about the Dan Schneider shit.
ever since back in the day. So he probably like tired of that. It's the same old, same old. So
But they say it's good to meet a
he trying to meet him in church or the library,
You know, I'm
at a
just saying,
funeral.
somewhat different, where you know you.
I actually get what he's saying here. I can kind of agree with the dad here with Master P. Like trying to meet some women organically and not, you know, in this day and age, everything's so like digital and you know, the whole sense of human connection. You know, we were just talking about it, like having stuff just kind of happen in the moment. Rather, you know, people are all just out looking on apps and shit. It's like, it's, you know what they're there for. It's not just, you know what I mean? I get what he's saying a little bit.
Not expecting like, oh, I'm looking for you to, you know what I'm saying? Like, let it just happen.
Meet them in the produce department. They say when in the produce department, particularly the cucumbers.
Yeah.
Catch Slimmy at the Praline Connection. Get the back. Cool. Your brother C Murder. We're still hoping for a speedy release on him. What's the latest on his situation?
Man, you know, we was thinking that it was all about to happen, and then when you get caught up in that system, he an innocent man fighting for his freedom, and we just praying, man. We praying that something is gonna turn around with all the things that's going on right now. I feel like, you know, we just got to keep that trust and faith in God, and something gonna turn around. You know, and I tell any kid out there, you got to think about whatever you're doing. You know, you got to think about when God give you opportunity to change. You know, some people just keep it too real. Keep it real with the streets. Ain't no keeping it after Nipsey. You can't keep it real with the streets no more, because you'll get gunned down in your own hood.
For nothing.
For nothing. For trying to take care. Y'all done took the plug out.
Legit.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my thing is I'm about keeping it real with these kids and the elderly when I go to the hood. All the rest of the stuff, it don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because there's too much hate out here.
It ain't worth losing your freedom or your life.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, you know, you do your thing. You never forget where you came from, but you got to have a cause and a purpose now.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, God is real, but the devil is real too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Don't let him use you.
At all.
All right, Pops. We've been in this business a long time. We're both artists. We're both entertainers, entrepreneurs. So I got to ask you the question. Are we better as business partners or just father and son?
If I wasn't doing business with you, where would we be?
Wait, hold on.
I'm just saying. No, you know what the real answer is? I'd rather father and son, because I feel like us being a family is nothing more important. Not making money or none of this stuff. A lot of people say you don't mix family with business.
It is a hard balance, because we always try to help out our family, but everybody doesn't have that mind frame. So it's just like, with you, you're an amazing business partner and a father, so I can't complain.
We in this for the business, we in this for the love, we in this for the family, we in it to build a generational wealth. I feel like it's great that we could go to work together.
So both?
No.
You're saying both.
I really don't.
You're contradicting yourself. You're saying you love me as a son and as a business partner. I already knew the answer to that, but it's okay.
Why is you...
I'm going to answer it for you.
Getting so sensitive.
Ladies and gentlemen.
For real.
He loved me as a business partner and a son.
I know.
That's incredible, because that
We're like
don't
the
normally
Avengers.
happen. How did you get here?
Yeah, because you told me like somebody dropped me from the sky.
Yeah, because
right?
I'm the 40-year-old version, so you was a test tube.
Oh. What was music like in our household?
It was noisy. It was
a little bit of everything too.
Yeah.
I think people would be surprised. Like, we're inspired and influenced by like a lot of the older generation. Like, I was bumping the Bee Gees.
Yeah. It was love. It was love. Like, I started out.
Yeah. Yeah, this interview is pretty telling, and you can tell Romeo's like really trying to keep it together through it, and he like, even just now, like right here, he like his eyes, you can tell he's feeling a little emotional about it, like, that's what I thought, but okay then. Like, what would we be if we weren't in business together? Like, exactly, it says it all. yeah, if you guys want to take a second to throw a like and subscribe, and if you guys want to, if you guys want to make sure to get the notifications when I do go online, because apparently it's not sending out notifications to everybody like it should. So you probably have to have like the little bell clicked to get all the notifications, so you don't miss a moment of all this fun.
As a kid, they always get me, go be the DJ.
But yes, thank you guys for all you guys that mentioned and remind everybody and remind me to remind everyone. Thank you, Vixen.
Put these Marvin Gaye records on, all these older records, and I put them on. Yeah, let's get it on. No, you don't need to talk about let's get hold up.
Yeah, you're going to be a grandpa one day.
Nah, we need to chill. Like, I'm still doing my thing right now. Let me do my thing.
Grandpa P.
No. So,
Master P, like, I was popping, I was blasting you at the house.
Yeah.
Like, I had my little baby Hummer, you got me?
Yeah.
I was like your biggest fan, so I was always bumping. Like, I love real music. You, Tupac, Jay-Z, Blue
Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Remember I was supposed to, one of my other biggest songs after my baby, I wanted to remake that Michael Jackson, I Want to Rock With You.
Yeah.
And they didn't clear it. It would have been my biggest song to this day.
No, but
and then Ashanti got it cleared.
Yeah.
Because we independent. You see how they do the independent labels.
You're right. But that's why we have to be business in the music business now. A lot of people don't understand it's not just about the music. It's about the business.
And
like
ownership.
Ownership.
All of that.
Is it anything that you think I could have done different, things that you don't agree upon or whatever?
Honestly, I think you did a hell of a job. I mean, to be as busy as you were and to be as focused on making your family lives 100 times better, I never felt like you was absent. I always was a kid. I wasn't like your best friend or your homie. You treated me like your son.
Yeah.
And
that, I feel that's the way parents should be.
Yeah. A lot of people just think that you handed this business down to your son.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
I made you work. To be honest with you, nothing get handed down in our household. I didn't really want you to be in this business. You went in the studio on your own.
Yeah, but even beyond that, it's like I put my career on hold to go to college. A lot of people don't know I wanted to master my craft.
Yeah.
And I do have this work ethic where
Yeah, you can tell there's like, it's a little bit of a dance happening here. Like, he's trying to put it to the dad, like, hey man, like, do you realize, like, hello? And the dad's like, nah man, like, I'm a G, I'm gonna do my thing. Like, nah, you can't have no kids. I ain't gonna be no grandpa. G is not for grandpa. It's G, like, I'm a gangster, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like so stuck in this whole little moment where it's like, dude, like, the guy just wants to be an adult now and have his life and do his thing and have control over his own shit. Like, you put him in control of the company for a fucking reason. Like, okay, yeah, generational wealth, you want to keep in the family, but did you not trust that you trained and taught him everything you knew enough that he can fucking figure it out and he can do it himself and he doesn't need your fucking... Especially in this day and age, too, because the times have changed so rapidly and, like, the way the business is and the industry and just in general, like, the way everybody's business is conducted has changed, you know? There's so much that can be learned from a younger generation, like, which, you know, like I was saying the other day, how, like, the Drew Barrymore / Jeanette McCurdy interview was really great to see because of how much, like, they could both relate on the mother issues, but that it was, like, an exchange of wisdom where Drew was like, wow, like, I wish I could feel that way about stuff the way that you do, like, and you're only this age, like, that's so cool, and then vice versa, right? Like, they were, like, soaking up each other's wisdom, and it's fucking cool to see, because just because the guy's fucking younger and, you know, you know what I mean, you've had all this time in the business, all this experience, doesn't mean you know everything. Like, right off the bat, he's trying to say, like, I had positioned to you guys, like, why don't we redo this Michael Jackson song, and da-da-da-da-da. It could have been my biggest fucking song, but you guys, like, said no, so Ashanti went and did it, and fucking it was a banger. You know, he's, like, trying to point out, like, look, I could have made some more of these decisions that could have helped us in the long run. And especially now, like, if they are struggling financially, like the way some sources are saying, it's like back in 2019, he's trying to say, like, things are changing, the world's changing. Everything's fucking changing, so we need to start doing some shit different. Like, we need, you know, look at all these times where I'd suggested a new thing and you shut me down. Now look, right?
I've seen up close and personal where regardless, whatever the situation is, like I always told you, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to figure it out.
People don't see hard work, Rome. Like, you can't prove that to them because they don't see what happens behind the scenes. When have you been the most, I wouldn't say mad, or just disappointed or upset at me in your life?
It's not many, but there's one moment.
Really?
It's one moment, Pops.
Why you pause to say that, though? You like
because my life could be a lot different right now if it wasn't for this moment. Like, I may be a husband with kids right now.
Okay, what was that moment?
All right, so a lot of people don't know. Even though I had all this success, I'm Lil Romeo, I got the top TV shows, I got houses over here, condos over here. I still had curfew as an 18-year-old man. And my curfew was 8:30. And they had this amazing actress / singer, had a hit TV show. She invited me to her set. I finally got that call, you wanna come hang out? You can stay over, blah, blah, blah.
I saved your life.
And let me tell you what happened.
I saved your life.
You called me.
Okay, what is she doing
at
now?
7 o'clock.
What is
and
she
say,
doing?
Rome, you better get home at 8:30.
Yes.
I'm an hour out from the house.
Okay.
You know this.
What is that actress
I'm about
doing
to
right
cuddle
now?
with my future boo.
Okay. What is she doing now?
It could have been me. We ain't gonna get into details.
I'm just saying.
Okay, and then all right, so look at what this dad's saying right here. Like, he's saying a fucking pretty serious thing here. Like, you had so much control over my life. As an 18-year-old man, I was so under your thumb that I still rolled my ass home because you said I needed to be home for 8:30, and I, like, you know what I mean? I was so obedient, and my life could have gone a whole different way. And maybe for what he's saying here isn't like, okay, maybe he didn't need to go and impregnate a girl at 18 and and maybe it would have been worse for the both of them in the long run. And who knows, though? Maybe it would have been good for both of them. Who fucking knows? And I'm curious to know who it is, because it's probably like another Nick star that was also a singer, whatever. Maybe like Jamie Lynn Spears, like Britney's little sister, maybe. Somebody to that effect for the timing and everything that I'm thinking. And maybe that would have set her life off on a whole different thing. And maybe she wouldn't have got pregnant at fucking 16 and maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm going off of like a left field here, but you can see right there, like, the level of dysfunction right there, like how much, like, he was doing so many things and it looked like he was so out and about and all these extracurriculars and getting so much shit done, but he literally couldn't be out past 8:30 at 18 years old. And sure, in some ways, maybe that prevented him from getting into the drugs and drinking and being a part of these crazy, drunken teenage Hollywood parties that, you know, creates these drug addictions and these issues. You know, I don't know. Who really knows? But obviously, all this stuff doesn't add up to a healthy adulthood, a functioning adulthood, you know? There's obviously stuff happening now that it's all starting to come apart at the seams. As much as you try to build it up and make it look so good on the outside, if it doesn't have a solid foundation, you know, like, you can't build a castle on quicksand.
What is she doing now?
She's living her happy life with her kids.
And okay, so look at how he's like so focused. Oh, what's she doing now? Who's she now? Who cares? Like, she ain't nobody. Well, who fucking cares? He's like, I just maybe would have liked to try to have a normal life for 2 minutes. Like, maybe I could have just settled down and had some freaking kids and just, like, had a normal fucking life. Oh, where's she now? Who fucking cares? Is she happy? Like, are you fucking happy, Master P? This guy don't look very happy. Romeo looked like he's about to burst into fucking tears. Quit poking him in the eye. You don't keep poking snails in the eye, or they're never going to come out their damn shell. Haha, there you go. I brought it back for you, Misty. Shoop. Oh, but yeah, he could have at least heard him out. But he was just shutting him down like, oh, well, where's she now? Oh, well, you know, like, I did this, and oh, I'm gonna do my thing. Like, what are you, fucking Miley Cyrus? Dude, like, I'm gonna do my thing. Okay, Master P, like, settle the fuck down. You know, you're fucking pushing, what, 60, 70? Like, he's gotta be up there now. Let's fucking settle the fuck down and, like, be a grandpa now. It's okay. It's alright. Definitely. Well, exactly, Shimon. Like, this is how you learn. You need to get out there and make some freaking mistakes. And exactly, says the guy that's got 9 kids. No, he's got 7 just with Romeo's mother, just with Sonia. He has 9 kids. Seriously, right? Like, who the fuck? Like, okay, maybe it wouldn't have been good to have it at that young of an age, but like,
that aren't my kids with her.
And you would be happy with that right now, because you couldn't do all the things you do right now.
It would have been 2 legendary families.
No, but you wouldn't be able to do what you're doing now.
I'm just saying, that was the only time I'm like, Pops, like, are you serious? I'm 18.
yeah, there was like, I guess there was some infidelity or something. I think she mentioned it actually in the clip we were just watching that the mom just did. She mentions like that it turned out he had a couple other kids she didn't know about that came out in the divorce or whatever. Oh yeah. Keeps poking the barrel, right?
Because you're 18, that don't mean you're a man. But you still...
It coulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
What if I do all the woulda, couldas? That, you know what I'm saying?
All right, Pops. So I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
How important is money to you?
Money?
Moolah.
Money is nothing to me, son. The
But
reason why,
I'm on the other side. People would say that's contradictory.
No, well,
made
guess
all
what?
this money. Your Master P, you got gold ceilings.
Even though we have nice things, it's not about that. Like, that don't mean nothing to me. It's just like, I have been blessed, but it's more about what can I do with the people that has nothing and help my family.
Or you had this great success, and people always jump to conclusion, well, if you could live this way, why can't you help me live this way?
Well,
this and
I'm
that.
going to tell you something about money. Money is the root of all evil. Money is not for everybody. Money in the wrong hands is going to destroy everything. Knowledge, for me, is more important than money.
See, I don't know if I can take him super seriously here, though, because I sort of perused. I've got this poem he wrote recently and had posted on his Instagram. It's called the Tree of Trauma, and it talks about kind of like some of this stuff right now, like the dad being very money oriented. And I think he's saying all the right things, but I think actions obviously speak louder than words, right? So he's trying to put him on the spot here and see what the dad's gonna say, and like the dad's failing hard. He's not taking any accountability whatsoever, because it's like, and especially now, like right now is before the sisters passed away, so this is like they're doing the show. They're like right in the midst of everything, and yeah, you're keeping up with us. You're keeping up with me for sure. You guys are fucking smart. You know what's going on here. Yeah. It's money is evil when it's yes.
I feel like I have $1 billion worth of knowledge. With knowledge, I could lose it, get it back. Without knowledge, anybody can get money, but you know, having the knowledge is what's gonna keep you going. It's gonna help us build that generational wealth. Being broke is a mindset. Most people think they broke, so they broke.
All right, so is there a financial decision that you made that you regret?
Yeah. I brought them gold ceilings, and I wish I never would have did that. How you doing, this Master P? Walls are all 14-karat gold. Chandeliers are from Europe, some are from Greece, some are from Spain.
If you go back right now, it wouldn't be no gold ceilings.
No, it'll be a regular
But everybody
ceiling.
rap about the gold ceilings, Pop, so it kind of paid off whether you like it or not.
Yeah, well, but I'm just saying that we're going to build an imprint, and we're going to be a father and son duo that when people look back, I want people to look at us like they looked at Muhammad Ali, went out there and changed the world.
See, okay, like if you have all that knowledge though, and that you can go do it again, why can't you go do it by yourself? Like you know, like he's so still set on let's be a team and let's do this for the family and the generational fucking whole thing. Like he's got a lot of words, but what he's really saying is like, you're my life raft, son. You can't leave me now. I owe a lot of tax debt, and the only reason you're getting a check now is because we need to start putting it out because we need to owe less taxes next time because we are fucked. Or something to that effect. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounds like he's like, we need to stay in this together, even though I've been riding you like a life raft your whole fucking life, man. Like his label, would his label and his stuff ever have been as big as it was if it wasn't for Lil Romeo? Like, he's got an awful lot to say about, I don't know, maybe not the dad per se, but a lot of people are saying, like, the dad did a lot for him, and the dad, like, he should be more grateful, and the dad's the reason he has the career, and da-da-da-da-da. But, I mean, that was sort of the thing at the time. You know, like, look at Aaron Carter, look at, like, Britney Spears, look at all these people that were, like, just coming out of being childhood and coming into teenage, like the teenage years, like that preteen, you know, superstar. That was like a big deal back then. So if you had a kid that had some skills, like could dance and sing and whatever, like, and then already sort of being in the business, like that was your shoe in. So he had the label, he had the kids, fucking kid's 11, and then they already had 7 kids. So they just started pumping him out like, the more we have, the better chances we got. One of them's going to fucking get famous. And they lucked out, and the first one got their foot in the door. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of got to read between the lines here.
We went out there, did philanthropy stuff. We've been doing this for over 20-something years. And to be able
guess
to
what?
be
People
here,
don't acknowledge that, though.
we don't need them to acknowledge.
And that's what I want to just say.
Also, I don't know. I'm going to maybe wait just till after this clip, but maybe we'll take another 5 minutes here soon, if you guys want.
You know, as your son, and knowing that that's the reason why you go so hard, and that's what you instilled in me. You got to give back.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I realized with the whole Nipsey Hussle thing is this was a great man that died too soon. A lot of people are glorifying him now. This was a man that should have been glorified while he was alive. And he should have been given all these great things, and people saying all these, but he didn't even know he only sold 52,000 records of the same album that he's selling millions of copies now, which to me is embarrassing, because the same album he had.
Look, I asked the same thing about you, though. Why aren't people making statues of Master P? Why aren't people praising you while you're here? You are literally the blueprint. Even Nipsey, those conversations you had, I seen this man, one of the only few that actually gave you your roses while he was here and while you were here. You know, it shows you how this world works.
Yeah, and I think that we're gonna change this because we're gonna get out here doing what's right while people are here. There's so many poor kids across the world, and I was once one of those kids. And my thing is, how can I help them? People don't know this. We had our first store in Richmond, California, which was called No Limit Records. It was a retail store. Yeah,
I remember this. I dreamed about it a lot as a kid.
And you know what? I had just made $10,000. We was about to move and go get an apartment because we were living in the back of the store at the time. Nobody knew.
Moving on up.
Yep. So I go grab the records to put the records in the store, and Romeo jumped behind the steering wheel and hit the car and run into Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I'm alive, Pops.
Thank you.
That's the most important. We don't care about those $10,000.
And I
Your
had to
best friend is alive.
They was gonna take me to jail if I didn't have $9,800. And I'm like,
you see how God works?
That's how God works. I gave them
$9,800.
Then I come back, I only have $200 left, all the money we saved.
Because you need to hustle harder, Pops.
You're right.
It's hot.
Where did he come from?
2 places at one time, baby. What big brothers do.
Thank you.
Now let's go have this amazing spot.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Love you.
With the birthday girl.
Was mission complete? Did I surprise you?
Yes.
I'm just here to let you know you're amazing. Have an amazing day. Amazing vibes. And surround yourself with only amazing people, okay? God, it's 2020. You'll be great. I may need to post this on my IG.
Yeah, we can power through. Just check it in. We'll figure it out, though, as we go. Seems we all kind of need to take a break around the same time, so it works out.
We showed you the raw footage.
No, and guess what? I showed you what you should put up, and you didn't. You put up what you thought the network wanted to see. And the network changed it. So that's what I'm saying. So like, let's do, if we're gonna do business, let's do right business. Right. Because it's positive stuff that people want to see.
Oh, yeah. For sure, Siobhan. He's talking about generational wealth, but how does he have that within a future generation? That interview, actually, he definitely goes in, he's like, I could have a Lil Romeo, like, doing his thing, sitting here with me right now, and he's like, oh, well, is that what you want? Like, as if, like, that'd be a wrong thing, considering that's just what he did, like, what the dad just did to him, you know, that's what he had just done, so what would be the problem with that? Like, so you get to have your prize kids that you're gonna sell off, but he can't fucking start a family because you don't want to be a grandpa yet? Like, come on. But generational wealth, like, let's stick together. Fuck off, man.
That's what we're going to change the game. After the day, we're going to change what people stereotype us. We're not about to be arguing with Angela, nobody, because we got to love all of them. I don't think you should. No, but that's what you want to see on TV.
No, we don't.
Yeah, you do, but that's not.
We want to see Romeo and Angela fall in love. That's what we want to see on TV. But I mean, nobody wants anyone to fight. We were rooting for them as a couple.
Yeah,
not as a.
It's no love there.
I don't know who this lady is. Like, I guess she's probably like a producer or something. I fucking hate how producers on these shows, like, will start to try and nitpick in such a way to get a rise. Like, they're like, that's not what we want. No, we're not trying to cause this shit, or no, we're not, you know, exploiting or manipulating anything in such a way, but in how they're approaching it and how they're going about it, they're exploiting and manipulating the situation to, like, fire it up and get it, like, you know, the way she's talking, even her body language, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're crazy. Like, this guy, like, she thinks it's a fucking joke. Like, she's, like, loving it. She's like, oh, this is great content. But then at the same time, like, kind of provoking him a bit, you know? Do you know what I'm saying?
I know.
She lost her husband.
I know.
Her boyfriend, her baby daddy, she lost him he got murdered.
I know.
She don't need another relationship right now. Think about it. Or you guys setting her up with somebody, like, she don't need that. She need to find herself and help herself and be with her family.
And that one thing I'm gonna just say though about even the Bible study stuff, I'm not even trying to do that on this show because this whole season they took my faith in God and played with it. I seen so many people, they played with that, and then on the flip side made a whole, like, all the promo was like religion driven.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You know what? In the end, God will make your enemies your footstool. Remember, that's what's gonna happen because we haven't did nothing negative or wrong to nobody. We try to keep the peace, to be honest with you. And we laughed at a lot of stuff because it was childish stuff that people was angry about. So
what?
Oh yeah, it's the fucking worst, and that happens a lot with, like, father-son dynamics, especially. Like, they'll help build him up to an extent, and they'll, like, want him to be successful. They want him to be, like, brag-worthy, but then they're waiting for that moment that they fall down and need the help of that person to get back up again. You know what I mean? Like, they want to always feel like they've got the upper hand and that they're always doing a little bit better. Like, I want you to do great, son, but not as good as me. You know? Like, it's this competition in a way where it's like, yo, you've had, like, 20 some odd years ahead of me to figure it out. Like, why are you trying to compete? Because if I'm doing better than you, I feel guilty, and then you probably don't feel great. So why are we even talking about it? Like, why does it even have to be a thing? Like, can we just be like father and son? Like, can we try that? Is that okay? Why does it fucking matter how much you made? You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. You know, like, some people are like that. Well, they'll be like, yo, I did this well this time on this. Like, da-da-da-da. Like, trying to pull out of you what you're making and what you did. And then, you know, like, can you imagine when it gets to that point where it's like, what do I say? Because I know I'm making a lot more, but I don't want to do this competitive fucking thing because it feels gross. You know, like, it's a fucking weird dynamic. It's a really weird dynamic that I may or may not have some personal experience with whatever. Doesn't matter. Going on. Moving forward.
That's a very good word you just said.
TV interview about a very family tragedy. It hits very close to home, the loss of his daughter, Tatiana Miller. She was 29. She'd been battling substance abuse for nearly a decade, and she openly discussed her struggle with addiction on the reality series Growing Up Hip Hop, where Master P and his son, Romeo Miller, encouraged Tatiana to get help. In May, though, Tatiana lost her battle with addiction. And
you know, every time they say Master P, or, like, I'm thinking of Master P, or I've been avoiding saying it because every time I hear it, I'm thinking of the kind of piss you have after the night of long drinking, or a long night of drinking. That's a Master P.
died by accidental overdose.
Fuck, this isn't a good time to be making jokes. They're talking about the daughter now. I'm sorry, guys. That was very poor taste of me. Okay, sorry. I'm going to go back so we can start that properly. My bad. But yeah, so here we go. We're getting into the current here. This is like up to the minute facts now. Up to date now. And getting right to it. Finally, after 2 hours. Sorry, guys, but this is what we're in for. The deep dive. I hope.
So that's a very good word you just said.
TV interview about a very family tragedy. It hits very close to home. The loss of his daughter, Tatiana Miller. She was 29. She'd been battling substance abuse for nearly a decade, and she openly discussed her struggle with addiction on the reality series Growing Up Hip Hop, where Master P and his son, Romeo Miller, encouraged Tatiana to get help. In May, though, Tatiana lost her battle with addiction and died by accidental overdose. Joins us now here on CBS Mornings. I'm so glad to see you. I'm so sorry it's under these circumstances because it's not the natural order of things.
Well, and like how like how much of an ego boost is it to like be like, I make more money than my kid? Like, okay, good for you, bud. like like even if that is the case, like, you know, because obviously, yeah, there's a weird dynamic with these celebrity families, right? But so even if it is the case that for the most part the dad's been making the more money for the majority of the time, like, okay, bud, good job. You're making more money than somebody half your fucking age. Like, do you want a high five? Would you like a juice box? Like, do you want a gold star? Like, what the fuck do you want? Like, are you fucking... that's what you need to build up your fucking ego? Is that how insecure and, like, small you feel on the inside? Like, that's fucking sad, man. That's fucking sad. And it's true, though. Some people are fucking like that, and it's weird. It's fucking weird. Like, even just average people, like, let alone just fucking these celebrity families. But he's still a G. Yeah. Gangsta. Huh. What is it? His... that go song.
For parents to outlive their
What?
children.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very hard.
Coming from where I come from, coming from poverty.
But yeah, sorry, maybe I'm just trying to make comedic light of this very sad moment, and it's like maybe that's how I handle things that make me uncomfortable or just like upset. I try to go to comedy all the time and I make humor of everything, but it's not always the appropriate time. But this is super fucking sad. Like, 29, man, like, you don't even know yet. Like, your 20s, you're just figuring it out. Like, you're tripping over yourself and falling on your face a bunch of times, and then you're just figuring it out, and then like, that's it. And then that's your whole fucking life? Like, that's bullshit. There's so many good years left to go. It's really sad. It's really sad. And then, like, you know, obviously for all the siblings... for Romeo especially, being the oldest sibling, is taking it on himself. Like, I'm sure it's similar to some of the truths that Nick Carter has told in you know, over time about the sister, like taking the guilt because being the older sibling and trying to always be the role model and da-da-da-da. Who knows how much truth there is to that or not, but I'm sure there is some, you know, you take some of that on yourself being an oldest sibling. If something happens to a younger sibling, for sure, you carry some of that. I'm sorry, guys. I fucking I started it. It's gonna be stuck in your head now, eh? It's all good, Misty. Do what you gotta do. Sorry if I'm distracting you from your like the things you gotta do. I wanted to say duties, but I felt like that was like not the right thing to say. It's like I don't know. Whatever. Do what you gotta do. We'll be here. Probably be here for a while. I don't have much going on this evening, and I could use a shoot the shit and chat and whatever. Otherwise, but we're almost caught right up, and then I've got these articles. I've got the poem, and we're pretty much covered everything so far. Up to this year now. So we're now at May 2022 is when. She passed, and then he first was starting to talk about it in July of this year.
You would think that you would outlive your kids, and that was the mission.
Yeah.
And I feel like going to my daughter's funeral, I feel like I went to my own funeral. To everybody that lost a child, when you look at this And I said, I'm gonna turn my pain into passion, and I'm gonna turn it into a purpose, because I can't get my daughter back.
Yeah.
I love her, I think about her every day, and it took me and my family to go through something that I just can't stop thinking about, but I realized that I have to get out here and help and save other kids. So,
did you think she was getting better?
oh yeah, no, she was getting better. We had just got out of rehab, and she was on the right track. You know, my daughter has been my parachute, and she was writing a book. I said, we have to get rid of the negative things and replace it with positive things.
When you look back on it, do you think that there are things that you should have done, not have done, things you should have said that you didn't said? Are you playing that tape in your head?
Oh no, every parent do that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have done more. I feel like, but you never know. Like, you think, we've been going through this for 9 years, and you think, oh, you know what? She's gonna get past this, we're gonna go on and live happily ever after.
She's an adult.
And she's an adult. Even if the police was involved, like, she could go where she wants. She's over 18. So I had to deal with that struggle and pain.
Which is interesting considering how hardcore they were with Romeo. Like, it just goes to show, like, he was treated as, like, a commodity. He was the product that needed to be kept close and protected, where still they want to keep their thumb. He kind of sounded like he wanted to keep the thumb on the daughter, but he's like, oh, well, she was 18. She could do what she wanted. The cops would bring her home. And I was like, I don't know. You're an adult. It's your fault. My bad. I don't know. Like, very detached and avoidant of taking the responsibility for anything going on with any of the other kids, because he's like, well, whatever, me and the boy were making the money, so I don't know.
My daughter had a lot of life left in her.
Yeah.
And she was a happy woman that knew that tomorrow she could do something better. So,
You know, and when something like this happens, it affects the whole family.
yes.
What did you do as a family to get through this? What have you been doing? What are you saying?
Well, my
amongst
thing
yourselves?
is anybody that's watching this, love your loved ones while they're here. Because once you walk out that door, you never know who's going to come back. I mean, I ask my kids, I say, what am I doing wrong? And so, you know, some of the kids say, you are controlling. So I had to look in my own mirror and say, that's true, but I've only built parameters for protection out of love. Because I know where I come from and what I've been through. And when you look at mental illness and substance abuse, it's serious. It affects everybody, black, white, Asian, Latino, rich, poor. My thing is, it hurts so much as a family. Like, we go, so for me, I broke so many stereotypes, and I'm telling my kids.
Because you worked so hard to make sure that they didn't have the life that you had.
Yes.
Isn't that the point you're making?
And it's tough, because when you lose somebody, they're not coming back. So when I got that phone call, I realized that my daughter's never coming back.
Yeah.
And that's the heartbreaking thing about this. I don't know why you put me through this, God, and I'm not gonna question you, but I'm gonna get out here and save millions. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna do something.
And so your bottom line message to people who are worried about their own children or who are going through this is to do what?
Does he actually do that? I'm not sure. I didn't get a chance to look into that. Does he do charity stuff, or like? It sounds like he talks about this kind of thing, doing all this stuff all the time. Like, he was saying stuff about it like in 2019 too, when he was talking to Romeo. Does he actually do much actual charity work, or does he just? I don't know. You're doing some tasks too. It's the first time you heard someone say they're not ready to be a grandparent, maybe worried about the image. Well, yeah, he obviously, it's like he's not even ready to grow up. Like, and I guess he did the dad thing, but he's like, you know, where you get stuck in a time where you get that money and that fame. You know, they say that with like child stars, they get stuck in a time when they made it, you know. So it's possible it happens with adults too. Like, you know, he came from nothing and then coming into his mid-20s or whatever, however age it was when he started getting famous, or, you know, starting to roll the money to roll in, and then getting Romeo into stuff. Like, I think that all changes a person, and he might just be still stuck in that time, you know, which it kind of sounds like it, because he was like really hands-on with the kids and everything was good that way. They had all the kids, that was fine. Did the wife thing, but he was still kind of like behaving like he was just doing his own thing, you know, like he would go off on tour with Romeo and leave the mom at home with the fucking 5 other kids, you know. She'd just be at home pregnant, and he'd be, you know what I mean? So who knows, like, the 2 kids that he had separately outside of the marriage is all that really they know about. Like, who knows how much extra marital activities he's been doing and how many other random kids he got floating around. You know, you really don't know. So then he's saying he's not ready to be a freaking grandpa. Well, dude, like, it's the least you can do at this point.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't hold this as
People
a
are
secret.
afraid to talk about
Stop, like, because when you talk about mental illness and you talk about substance abuse, people don't want to say this happened to my kid. But this is affecting us as Americans. If this is affecting people international, don't be afraid. And I'm even telling companies all across the world, like, stop holding this as a secret. Because
yeah, he goes into, like, he's, like, trying to plug a bunch of shit. He starts talking about soldier snacks and, like, all this stuff. Like, he literally takes every opportunity to try and plug something, to slip it in somewhere. And I definitely have picked up on that. And then when I was reading The Tree of Trauma that Lil Romeo wrote, he kind of talks about it a little bit in such a way, in poem form. So anyway, I couldn't get a clip of what he came out and said directly. Like, I've got some, like, of the text screenshots, like, on the comments or whatever, and then you get a good idea of it through what Master P says in response here, and then I've got all these articles that go over it. So we're pretty much caught right up to the actual current stuff going on right now. So, fuck, I don't even remember what was going on. I'm getting tired already. God damn, I gotta make a fresh pot of coffee here soon. Maybe we'll take 5 here, actually, for real soon. Maybe I'll pause it right here, and we'll have a quick 2 to 3 minute break, and let me go get a fresh pot of coffee started. Because my eyes are getting tired, and my brain's getting a little droopy. But yeah, so I guess after Master P had spoke out about Twitch Boss, so this kind of, like, connects to the other streams we were doing here, interestingly enough. But he had come out and said something, some heartfelt message about Twitch Boss, and it kind of set off Lil Romeo, because obviously he was, like, expressing his concern and whatever about mental illness and addiction and whatever, and or just, you know, having struggle. With just having the daughter passing away, and then that happening with Twitch Boss. So I guess he finally just snapped, Lil Romeo, and he came out saying, like, you care more about the Twitch Boss situation than what's happening with your own kids, like their mental stuff. And then going on about how he had just finally got his first check from the rap snacks, because of course he had rap snacks and soldier snacks and snacks for everybody that he's putting people's faces on, and, you know, making everything into a product best he can. So, yeah. The Shoop Shoop song. Shoop-a-loop, shoop-a-loop-a-loop-a-loop. That's funny. But anyway, yeah, so, okay, let's take 2 to 3 minutes here. I'm getting distracted with the comments too. So let me get some freaking coffee, and let me just get up and stretch and stuff too, because that keeps me more awake. I sit all day for work, and then I, like, get up and I do some stuff, obviously in between. But then coming back and then sitting down and doing this, like, oh yeah, it takes it out of you. Oh, but yeah, whew, don't hurt yourself. I won't hurt myself. It's all good. But I can tell I'm losing my train of thought and shit. I'm getting a little fading. But I want to make it to the end of the stream at least. I don't know if we'll do an after show this time, but I want to get to the end of the clips and to the current situation. Oh no, I won't. It's okay. Like, another pot or another couple cups of coffee won't hurt. And I don't have to get up early or anything, so it should be alright. It's kind of like I'm doing a weekend right now. We're starting the weekend early. Like, really, as long as I get everything I need done in the time that I'm trying to get it done for. That's the main thing. Whatever happens in between the rest of the time is you know, inconsequential. It just is whatever happens. So it's okay. I feel ya. No worries. I'm not gonna hurt myself. It's all right. It's just a little more coffee. It's better than being out drinking or something silly, getting all crunked up. So it's no big deal. But yeah, let me go stretch out a little bit and get another cup of coffee going. Cause it's not even midnight. So it's not even that late. It's just been a long week. So. Oh. But yeah, you didn't even know about the daughter, Jamie? Yeah. No, me neither. And when Angel, I don't know if Angel, Sunlight, if you're still in here, but when you were first telling us about it and talking about it, I was looking up the feud. I was like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, we'll touch on that after the band thing, no problem. And then I was reading into it more on breaks and stuff and like starting to collect my thoughts on it. And once I realized the daughter had died too recently and all the other stuff going on, I'm like, yeah, this is going to need its whole own stream for sure. So, anyways, yes, okay. Bing, bang, boom. I'm going to go take 2 to 3 minutes. Go ahead, do what you got to do for 2 to 3 minutes, and we will reconvene. Oh my lord. And the chat goes wild. You drink coffee at night sometimes, Twyla? Yeah. Usually I still don't really have a problem going to sleep, so it's not that big of a deal. It just keeps me going for that little bit longer, and then we crash. It's all good. Yeah. We could be getting crunk, like, geez. Exactly, Misty. The music still here for now. Okay, the music is keeping me here. Right on. Yeah, I got a little bit of a better list section going on here. You just gotta keep clicking through and find the good shit. Hey, you're back, Simone. What's going on? Need glow sticks. It's a party. I did it right. What can I say? Yeah. The music's making you on now. Ah, did it go to a slower one? I gotta, like, curate a list for us for the when it starts getting a little later to pep us up a little bit. Hey, Martinez, you made it. What's going on? Hella traffic in Florida? Yeah. Well, this whole week is probably going to be crazy, right? Because going to the holidays and shit. And for some of us, there's supposed to be a big-ass storm, so there's that. I don't think you got to really worry about that in Florida. More like the water storms you worry about, but... Didn't think we'd still be alive. We're still alive. You said live, not alive. I don't know why I read it alive. What's up, Screaming Daisies? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we're doing a longer one tonight. We were just doing a quickie last night. Everyone's coming now. Yeah, all right. That'll wake us up. All the night owls are rolling in. Whoop whoop. Whoop whoop. I remember all my 90s mouth sounds. This music's waking you up again? Good. See what else we can find here. Hold on, let's take a moment before we get into the fucking serious shit here. Conditioner is better. I leave the hair silky and smooth. I don't know how I got there. I was just thinking, this music's better, and I don't know, for some reason it was coming out into my brain in that voice, and it just happened. I had to. Okay, we're gonna find something here. Hold on. Ooh. Come on now. This used to be easier. They got so many different friggin' lists now. There's so many different forms of EDM or whatever music. Doopy-doopy-doo. Okay, you're not working for me. Hold the phone. I forgot about you guys. There we go. This'll keep you up. You are fully charged and ready. Right on, Martinez. Alright, fucking good thing I made more coffee. I knew. That's the shine. The shine at work. Right this moment. Because I knew. Night crowd was rolling in soon. Somehow, I just knew. I actually didn't know, but it's working out. Okay, so we got us pretty much caught up to the most current situation. For the new folks, I apologize. We've kind of gone through the whole thing up till now, but you're welcome to catch up later on. Really, the main thing is that there's the feud regarding unpaid earnings and royalties over the years to Lil Romeo by his father, Master P. His little sister, Lil Romeo's little sister, passed away this year at 29 in May of 2022. Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. So we're just going over the feud here, and this kind of goes right along with the whole Aaron Carter thing. He was a child sensation, rap sensation, so around the same time, doing kind of almost the same kind of thing. Started off really young and started touring and doing the whole thing before he could even tie his own shoes. Oh, the Florida's crazy trout. Yeah, all the snowbirds. That's right. That makes sense. That makes sense. Not too much, Martinez. We're just fucking keep on keeping on here. I'm glad I went and made a pot of coffee. It was perfect timing. I can't really get over how perfect that was. Freaking night owls, yeah. The Shiny Demon VIP group, yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. Shiny Demon owls. Night owls. Right on. That's perfect. I like that. They got an owl emoji even. That's so funny. They got everything, yeah. Now. Alright, so let us go ahead and proceed with the video. I was just going to give you guys a moment, everybody get back here. Because I don't know if that was a full 3 or 5 to 5 minutes, but we are here now, and we are continuing on. Yeah, that was great. It was great timing. It was funny. I was like, you're like, you know, don't do the coffee. You don't want to get too tired if you're going to try to go to bed soon. I'm like, I don't know, it'll be fine. I'm glad I went for it. I went with my gut on that one, because I worked out pretty good. Got the shine on tonight.
And put this on the internet, which I don't want to do. But I try to call my son. People say, why you call? I did. He don't call back. It's been months. So my question is to Romeo. Like, if you've been in the business for long as you've been in, and you're a 30-something-year-old man, and if you've been around me, watching me hustle and do my thing, why you not where you want to be at? Because that means you're not listening. That means you want to do your own thing. You done brought your own circle of people. But you can't get mad at me, because I really thought this was about, the only reason I entertained this on social media, I thought it was about the DJ Twitch post I put up. And I thought it was about my daughter's death. I thought you was grieving. Mental illness is real. But I want to tell all the people out there that just don't understand how bad my heart hurt. Romeo lost a sister, but I lost a daughter. And for any parent that's going through this, because I know debt, it brings people closer together, or it
yeah, and you tried to sell your fucking soldier snacks and several other business ventures while talking for the first time publicly about your fucking daughter's death. So should we talk about it? Do we want to talk about it? It's that time of night. I get a little feisty. I'm overtired and feisty now.
I'm apart, but I come from nothing, y'all. And I could go back. I'm cool with it. I won't be angry at God. I won't be upset. I won't go get mad and be disrespectful to my parents and none of that stuff. I just say, Dad, thank you for putting me in this world. Now I can get out and hustle and go do my thing. But that's the problem. When you take kids and you kind of like protect them from the real struggle and the pain, and you don't allow them to deal with their own consequences. And then when they grow older, you never gave me nothing. At 30-something, man, people could go back and look, you've been shining for a long time, son. All you gotta do is pick up the phone and call me or come to the house and holler at me. The saddest thing about this is what the people want to see. They want to see destruction.
Maybe what you were giving them isn't what they needed, though. You know? Yeah, it's the coffee. Yeah, could be. I use this sweetener shit, too. It's like got this like caramel flavor shit. That's probably a fuckload of sugar, so that's probably exactly what is happening. We're awake. But, oh yeah, like, listen to this fucking guy, right? And like, oh, well, I came from nothing, and then I gave you everything, so, like, what's your problem? Well, you know, maybe they didn't just need all that money and all those fucking freeze pops and, Froyos and whatever the fucking shit was that was in the fridge that Buddy was talking about, all ice creams. He's like, oh, we got all the snacks, Hot Pockets. Like, cool, you got all this junk food, you got all this bells and whistles, all the toys, all this shit to keep you distracted and keep you fucking doing what you're doing. But, yeah. Like, obviously, we all kind of get where Romeo's coming from. We're obviously Team Romeo, you know, knowing what we know with the industry and with other child actor situations. And with the daughter passing away, I think that should be your first fucking, you know, that should be your first clue that you got to do something different. And he even kind of says it. He's like, oh, well, they're all telling me I'm kind of controlling. A little, okay, yeah, we could start there. That's a start, you know? So obviously there's a lot that's needing to be healed there and resolved, and he's like, oh, well, they're saying I didn't give them enough or they was neglected, da-da-da-da. Well, just because you're giving them everything doesn't mean that they're fulfilled. It doesn't mean that you're bonding, you know? There's that movie, or video, documentary, whatever you want to call it, movie, whatever. I don't know if I mentioned it recently or not. I think I mentioned it to you guys at some point, but whatever, I'll mention it again. There's a movie called The Wisdom of Trauma from 2021, I believe it is. And it goes right into, like, trauma and addiction being hand in hand, and how there's stuff that doesn't seem like trauma from the outside. Like, on the surface, it all looks so great. Like, your family looks perfect, but your parents work a lot, so instead of spending time, they spend money, you know? And how that can lead to being a trauma and then an addiction. And, you know, they're in their mind, they didn't have trauma. They had a good childhood and everything was fine. And then as they're talking to therapists or whatever, trying to work through whatever addiction, they're like, oh, wow, like, having it the way I had it wasn't great either. Just because I had everything doesn't mean that I was, you know, well taken care of either. So it kind of goes, goes to 90 with these celebrity kids situations, you know?
So if you destroy me, what are you going to do for the rest of the family? Are you going to take care?
Are we about to have a Beatles sing-along? I feel like we're on the verge of a Beatles sing-along. Can't buy me love.
You told me on the post that you put up, oh, you go take care of people in the community. That's what you're supposed to do when you come from that. You go help people. I'm just not helping ungrateful people. I'm not an ATM machine. People can't just say they love me when I give them something. I'm tired of that, y'all. And any other parents, you could be rich or poor.
I'd need a little bit more of that coffee to get to get that confident to go into to start belting that shit. I don't know, maybe we'll see how much more feisty and floopy I get. The more coffee and the more tired I get.
At a smaller level, you might give your kid $10, but if that's all you got, I've always felt.
Me though, okay, he's so fucking fixated in money. He's like, I gave him everything. Like, if I only had $10, I'd give him the $10, and I give him everything. Again. Yeah. You guys know. You know.
Got back up, hustled, did my thing. I'm tired of all these blog sites and all this stuff, poking and having fun. Y'all can. But I'm about to go back to work and do what I gotta do. I love my family.
Tell me that you want those kind of things money just can't buy. I don't care too much for money. Money can't buy my love. Yeah, come on, dude. Get with the program. They've been singing about it since the 60s. Yeah, fuck.
My door is always open for my son. To be honest, because we shouldn't have to go through this. And if I'm wrong, forgive me. I'm apologizing to you if I'm wrong. I'm still a work in progress. I come from nothing. Everybody go through trauma. I'm dealing with this right now, but I love going out into the community.
Are you fucked? Like, you're the parent, though, dude. Like, you're sitting there like, oh, he's got trauma? Yeah, Romeo got trauma? Well, like, I got trauma. I'm dealing with the trauma. You're the fucking dad. You are the grown-up. Their trauma is your fault. Like, maybe not 100% his fault, but you know what I mean? Like, their trauma is based on your choices. Their choices... Pardon me. Their choices didn't cause his trauma. It's not his kids' choices causing the fucking trauma. Their trauma is based on the parents' choices, and then obviously whatever struggles they're having because of that trauma is going to cause problems for the dad. Like, the trauma that caused the death of the daughter is now trauma for the father and then all the other kids and so on and so forth. But, like, come on, dude. It's not even a chicken and an egg thing. You are the fucking dad. You're the fucking dad. Let's be real here. You can't sit here and be like, oh, get over it. We all got trauma. Like, you all got trauma? Yeah, except you're the fucking dad. Everybody got trauma except they're not all your kid. You know? Fuck. I'm getting a little heated now. This is feisty coffee.
Helping people. That's the way I heal. Allow me to heal. I don't have to be sitting around moaning and crying and all. I can't get my daughter back. But I can get out there and keep a legacy going, keep a name going. So
you're gonna try and profit off her name now? You're gonna make the legacy and try to find a way to capitalize on that too? You sick fuck.
Let's do this in love and let's do this in peace. Because this is what the system wants. Think about it. We stronger together. But you older now. So you got to lead by example for the rest of the kids. And we're going to get through this. I'm just telling y'all, keep y'all prayers. We need it. And God going to do what he got to do. You know, I'm not going to come on here no more. So bloggers and everything else is cool. Whatever you want to deal with Romeo. Whatever y'all think he's saying is true or whatever, that's cool too. I can live with it. I'm at peace now. I had to speak my peace.
Peace? I don't feel no peace about that. Fuck. Yeah. So anyways, so this goes into, he tweets too, or whatever, Instagrammed about it a little bit too. So the new generation of kids needs to stop blaming their parents for everything. How do they think they got to where they are without their parents making sacrifices for them? Well, we're in a fucking shithole right now is actually where we're at for the most part. Nobody in our age group can afford to buy a home, and if we can, we gotta, you know, we have to have been sold since we were fucking 5. Like, holy shit, this guy. Blaming the parents. It's not even that he's blaming, he's trying to point out what this fucking guy has done that would have caused and led to the death of the daughter. Is really what he's coming out and saying. He's like, oh, you give so much of a shit about all these other people and about Twitch boss, but look what just happened to your freaking daughter. Like, why don't you pay attention to what your kids are saying to you and what's going on, you know? Like, what's going on with your own family? And this is his response. Like, oh, why are you blaming your parents? We made all the sacrifices. We made all the money, and then we spent all the money on you. So, like, why are you mad at us? Oh, shit. I fucking just scrolled like an idiot. Why do I do that so many times? It's okay. Luckily, it's right at the end, so it'll be easy to find.
We deal with Romeo. Whatever y'all think he's saying is true or whatever, that's cool too. I can live with it. I'm at peace now. I had to speak my peace.
And then he says, mental illness is real, and so many families are tragically affected by it, especially when there's added trauma like the death of a loved one. So we're only going to acknowledge the trauma now because it's your trauma because your daughter died. And you're talking about mental illness being the effect of the family. Is it mental illness that she wanted you to fucking sit down for 2 minutes and recognize that your family had needs that were beyond things that can be bought and sold? Like, that they needed you to actually listen to them and hear them out, what they needed. Like, the daughter was pretty much laying it out for you. What she needed to get help, like, what would help her. And that it's not rehab. Like, I can stop doing the drugs, but it's not the fucking drugs that are the problem. I'm using the drugs because I can't escape the problem. So help me with the problem. Like, let's talk about the fucking trauma and resolve, like, the deep-seated issues in our family. And maybe I wouldn't want to escape it with drugs. I wonder. You know? And he's like, oh, well, you can't blame your parents. And, oh, she must have had a mental illness. We gave her all these medications, and it still didn't work out. I don't know. It's not my fault. Well, you fucking dropped the girl off and had her medicated and fucking sent to rehab when she's, like, misusing the medications and shit because it was pills, wasn't it? Or whatever, one of the things. It ended up being fentanyl, but I think she was trying to get pills and it was laced with fentanyl or something to that effect. Holy shite. But yeah, it gets annoying, and, like, you know, it's a slow burn getting to this point, but then it gets fired up to, like, to such a hot burning point, like fucking blue flame right away. Like, once you get into the actual current shit, it's fucking drive me insane. But anyway, social media is not the place for healing, says the guy that's fucking was posting out to Twitch boss, blah blah blah, and, you know, talking about the daughter's death on here, whatever. Son, I love you. Stop trying to get people to feel sorry for you. and let's come up with a solution. I don't think that he's trying to make people feel sorry for him. I think that he wants you to fucking hear the words coming out of his mouth as an adult grown man that has watched and sat back and fucking funded your ass and observed everything going on and watched how you work and watched how you do. And why do you think he's choosing to not do and wants to just be? Why do you think he wishes he just went and started the family and settled down and wasn't in this whole fucking mess with this guy? Oh, Lord. Here we go. We're fucking full rant mode. Let's come up with a solution. You can come talk to your father and your family like a man. You have kids, too. So I guess he has kids now. Fine. But, what? He's like, let's come up with a solution. Dude, your only solution is spending money, man. Your only solution is, oh, well, I'll send you to $40,000 a month rehab. Well, what's the fucking solution when the kid doesn't have an addiction? When the kid's not drinking? When the kid's not doing anything fucking wrong, but he just needs the support of his fucking father? Especially when he just lost a little sister, and especially when he's sitting there telling you all the fucking things. You know? Oh, Lord. All these celebrities with issues. Britney Spears is spinning again, and it's not in her living room. Well, I mean, it's so hard for her to know who to trust, and I think there's, like, as much as it's like she needed to be freed, it's now a dangerous time where all these people are going to be trying to jump on getting control of her now. You know, everyone's going to try and get their hands in her pockets. That's why she's posing nude so much, probably, because if she doesn't have pockets, they can't reach into them. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, like, I'll just drop you off, and I'll spend all this money on the nicest, fanciest rehab that we can find. We're here to help. No, you're fucking not. You don't give a shit. You want it to be contained. You want to stick her into a Tupperware container and shove her under the fucking sink and not have it causing problems for your whatever the fuck you're trying to do over here. No family is perfect, but together we can heal and get through this. Yeah, okay. Well, fine. No family is perfect, but let us recognize that this is a very complex situation. And not the average situation. Like, how easily they can acknowledge and go on and brag and have their whole, like, I'm an extraordinary human being. But then when it comes to their fucking family shit, it's like they minimize it and make it so, like, it's so average. It's all normal. It's like nobody's perfect. Everybody's the same. But then you're like, you know, you can't be both in that scenario. You can't be both ends of the spectrum in that scenario. Like, in some scenarios, you can, you know, both things can be true depending on the perspective. In this scenario, you can't, you can't have both. You can't be both, you know? Yeah, she's still not completely free, because now it's like everybody's scrambling to try and regain control of it, right? So there's like this is like almost the more difficult time. You know, there's been like the calm of the storm, the eye of the storm, and like the worst is yet to come probably for her. Her battle is not over yet. And I've been thinking about whether or not to do an update on her, because, you know, there's obviously so many different things happening in the news with her and like her sister and the dad and everything going on. And because I did do videos on her like early on and before the whole Free Britney movement really started getting the momentum, like I feel like I was like, you know, a drop in the ocean on that situation, which was cool. But I kind of been waiting to see, though, because it's like it still hasn't really reached a secondary conclusion. Like, yeah, okay, now she's been freed, she's finding her footing, she's figuring her shit out. But there's still so much going on in the background, and still so much yet, like, battles yet to be fought, you know, and in court with the dad, and oh, fuck, it's a whole fucking thing. Yeah, exactly. There's no pockets. If she doesn't have the pockets, they can't take her money. They can't get their hands in them. But yeah. Where are we here? I got lost again. Yeah, no, it's true though, Martinez and Vixen and everybody with the Britney thing, for sure. For sure. Fuck, I did it again. Okay, here we go.
I'm just telling y'all, keep y'all prayers, we need it. And God gonna do what he gotta do. You know? I'm not gonna come on here no more. So bloggers and everything else is cool. Whatever you want to deal with Romeo. Whatever y'all think he's saying is true or whatever, that's cool too. I can live with it. I'm at peace now. I had to speak my piece.
if I skipped too far, we will miss it, 'cause it's such a quick second in time here. And this little slider thing's a little weird, so I'm just going to let it go through again. Sorry. Okay, so he goes on at the bottom to say, I wouldn't wish this on no parent, especially when you try to do everything you can for your kids. Everything, or you just spent all the money. Let's rephrase that. Romeo, what's the plan? You're either part of the problem or the solution. Oh, fuck. I feel like I say that shit, though. Maybe I have a problem. I say that shit. You're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. Like, quit bitching about the problem and let's figure out a solution or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that's my attitude. For myself, even. Like, all right, let's fucking get over it. Let's move on, you know? My self-talk is very like that. And just in general. Like, I can be very like, this is how it is. Let's not get caught up in the problem. Let's move forward, you know? I love you and the door is always open, but I won't tolerate disrespect. I haven't talked to you or seen you in months. God knows I've tried to do my best. Okay. Well, but he's obviously, like, completely ignoring and evading his part in any of it and totally not acknowledging the reasons that Romeo is coming out and saying these things and the thing, like any of the things that he's saying, like, he's not acknowledging any of it. So, just one sec. Hold on, I think. Thought it must be the TV upstairs. I have the TV on upstairs for the animals, and every once in a while it goes pretty like up and down, and for a second I thought it was one of the animals making a weird noise. But it was just the TV, so we're good. Oops, I did it again. I skipped over the bed. Alright. So yeah, he's really just trying to push that he's like the innocent bystander, that like, oh, I did everything I could, I gave them everything, I am innocent, my daughter's dead, but it's not my fault, it's probably somebody else's fault, even though I was fully in control of everything, apparently. I don't know. Well, this is it, exactly, Martinez, because it's not about dealing with it in private or dealing with it the right way at all. Like, he's just trying to push his innocence in it. He's trying to make it out that Romeo's the one with the problem, but there's not really any issues. He has no problems. Romeo doesn't have anything to really zero in on to be like, oh, well, he has no credibility because he's a drug addict. Where Tatiana had no credibility, and they're like, oh, well, you just need to go to rehab because you're doing drugs, and da-da-da-da. Well, like, this is his only defense now, is like, oh, well, we have mental illness in our family, and, like, pretty much trying to say, like, you're starting to sound mentally ill, Romeo, so what's the plan? Like, come talk to me, because I'll just solve it with my money. Like, what's the problem? When literally he's saying, like, what Romeo just came forward saying is he's just finally got the first check in 15 years from all these fucking side ventures that they've done together, let alone all the different, whatever, you know, the touring and all this other stuff, like, who knows how much he actually ended up with it, but it doesn't seem like he's as fixated on the money as the father is, right? So he's like, well, as long as I'm covered and my family's covered, everybody's good, it's fine. So he hasn't really said anything. But now the sister just died, like this year in May, and then he's finally getting this first check out or whatever. And then, you know, the guy came out and the dad was talking about the Twitch boss passing away, ending his own life, and he had something to say about that, about mental illness and addiction and da-da-da-da. So, of course, Lil Romeo just fucking popped off, because he's like, you want to sit here and talk about X, Y, Z? Meanwhile, you're ignoring all the issues with the family. You got fucking 9 kids you can barely keep up with. One of them's dead now. And he's trying to show him, like, dude, look what you've done. Look what's wrong. Like, let's fix it now. This is your opportunity. It's a learning opportunity. Your daughter is dead. Let's learn now. And he's like, oh, well, I'm the victim, oh, this tragedy, like, we're gonna do all this stuff to try and save all the addicts, or whatever the fuck he's saying. Like, I don't know what the fuck he even thinks he's trying to prove with the virtue signaling shit there, but... so then he goes on to say, hey, Melissa, welcome. They all should go to therapy. Master B, Romeo, Brittany, all Brittany's family. See, well, this is it, though. Then they make a show about it, though. Remember the celebrity rehab show with Dr. Drew? Fuck. Like, they almost get halfway to doing the right thing, and they're like, actually, we can make money on this. Instead of working out our family issues in private with a professional in a private setting, Let's make it a reality show and make more money. Even though money is part of our problem. Let's go make more. Yeah. Fuck. God damn. Bunch of retards, man. Anyways, so he goes on to say, I thought this was about DJ Twitch and about my daughter's death. This is heartbreaking. You just exposed that this is really about money. Who's exposing it? Sorry, who keeps making it about money? And it is about mental illness and the deliberate death, self-inflicted death, and it is about the daughter's death. It's about all of those things, and trying to point out how, okay, you have this to say about Twitch Boss, but here's how it contradicts with how you've behaved and how you're acting right now. And look, your daughter just died, man, so let's be real. It's not even about the money. He's trying to come out and say, listen, I slaved for the family, trying to create this generational wealth and trying to do all the right things by the family and pay back the whatever favor Master P's held over his head, thinking like he owes him or some shit. Like, he's been doing it. He's been doing it the whole time, doing all the right things. Went to college while working on movies, while putting out albums, while going on tour, while carrying the whole fucking family of 10 on his fucking back as a fucking 10-year-old, right? So, yeah, but it's about the money for Lil Romeo, because it's not fucking Lil Romeo's money to begin with. You fucking... Fuck, it's really chapping my ass, man. God does know the truth. If you believe in that, I don't know if I believe in God, but somebody gonna know the truth. The universe certainly knows. You're at peace? You sure don't sound like you're at peace. It doesn't sound like there's much peace going on. And again, he goes into I worked hard to get my family into the ghetto. Did you? Or did you groom your child to become a pop star at 5? Because I'm pretty sure he used the word groom. He was grooming me to blah, blah, blah. Anyway. Every time I fell off, I got up and went to work. I didn't blame anyone for my failures. That's not the fucking point, dude. Like, this is where he's missing it again. Like, nobody's fucking saying you don't know how to deal with your whatever shit when it comes to money. They're talking about how you're not managing your family and how your daughter just died. And then you want to come out and talk about, you know, some shit about mental illness and da-da-da-da-da with the Twitch Boss thing. Whatever, you guys know. You guys know. I don't have to explain it. I'm over-explaining it now probably, but... You started this social media rant, so what's your plan besides showing the world? See, and he kind of keeps going, too, where Romeo spoke his piece and then dropped off. Like, I don't think you could... I can't even find it. I can't find the clip from the story or whatever. It didn't get saved. People just talking about it, and, like, there's all these articles and some of the little screenshots and stuff. But other than that, like, Romeo kind of came out, spoke his piece, and then... disappeared into the night. And then this guy's like going off about it, like, I did this and I did that and you should be so lucky and so grateful and you should be, you know, all this shit. And he's like, so what's your plan besides showing the world you're entitled and spoiled at 30, throwing a tantrum on social media? Are you fucking kidding? Throwing a tantrum? His fucking little sister just died and you won't take any accountability whatsoever. You're looking at this like, well, not my fault. She was an adult. So at 18, she was an adult. Cops bringing her home, and it's, I can't do anything about it. She's an adult. But Lil Romeo's 18 and can't be out past 8:30 at some girl's house? Like, are you fucked? Can we fucking... Like, does he not even hear him fucking self? Jesus. Lord. Yeah, God knows. All right. Somebody God's gonna know. Jesus. I never claimed to be perfect, and I'm not afraid to admit I'm still growing as a man and a parent. Oh, but are you, though? Because you're saying it, but you're not actually admitting what you've done wrong and not working towards fixing any of it. You're just trying to point the finger and point the blame. Like, oh, well, you're all adults now. It's your own fault. Like, as if you're all equals, and you're not the fucking parent. Who's the parent? I don't know. Was Romeo the parent? Maybe Romeo's been the parent the whole time. That's why he didn't need to have kids, and you didn't want to be a grandpa. I am my own grandpa. My father is my brother, and my uncle is my son. I am my own grandpa. Woo! Yeah, the fun just keeps on rolling here, man. Oh, everybody deals with death in different ways. I get it. I'm just an ATM for this family. Are you, though? Who? Where'd the money come from? Because I don't think you've been doing shit for how long? You literally been riding this kid since he was 5. Maybe 10. Because I think, you know, he had to learn a little bit. He had to, you know, get used to the training wheels and shit. But, and then here he goes again. Bloggers can have their laughs. I'm laughing. I don't have a blog, but I'm laughing. I'm having a laugh. Are you guys having a laugh? I think we're all having a little laugh here. I'm gonna keep working, keep praying. Are you working? Are you making money off other people's backs? Like, you got some other things in the works for your 10 other kids, man? Like, you got some more babies on the way? Like, what's going on here? Mental illness is real. You are right, sir. So is denial. Denial is a river in Egypt. That is a real thing. Anyways, so that's that. Welcome to the first portion. The conclusion of the first portion. Okay, so I have he wrote a poem. Lil Romeo wrote a poem about it. It's called The Tree of Trauma. And so we're going to read over that quick here. Actually, not super quick because it's kind of long, but we'll get that out of the way. And then there's some articles, but we're pretty much at the discussion period. Share your thoughts. Obviously, you've been sharing them so far anyway, but that's pretty much the whole situation. And I think we need better music, because this is... Actually, it's not terrible, but it's got the vocals, and it's distracting over stuff. Come on, it was so good. We were doing so good. Playlist. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, The Tree of Trauma. What am I opening this with? Oh, actually, I could do it this way. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, there it is. I think my eyes are still tired, but the rest of my head is fine. My face and my brain is awake, but my eyes are getting tired. Okay, let's make this bigger. Maybe I'll make this even bigger because my eyes are pretty tired. Still here for now? Alright, Vixen. Sticking her out. Well, we won't be going too much longer here. We're pretty much at the end. Got to the end of the clips and stuff anyway, so it's just the last few things here. The couple articles and this poem I wanted to share with you guys. And then I don't know if we're going to do an after show, because I am already kind of tired, but yeah. It's a shame what money does to the people. Yeah, it is. It really can change people. And the real G doesn't care about his image since when? Yeah. Yeah, I see him. We see him. We hear him. We're here for it. Yeah, the music's gonna bring us back. That's how we keep it going. Get the blood flowing in our brain holes. Okay. So, The Tree of Trauma. Dear Giants, why do you want to be patted on the back so badly for doing good, when as God-fearing men and women we're supposed to do that? Why do you feel the need to promote and hold a product on every interview just to validate your worth? Don't the people see that? How is the media one day your best friend and then the next liars? Whether it's the past or the present, karma has never been known for a liar. So why complain when we signed up for the job that reads no privacy required? Oh, it's like, I see what's going on here. How are we in a household of God and can't even pray for the lost ones that's kin to me? How come it took my daughter being born to finally realize that we have blindly been feeding the enemy? How if I really speak my truth, my family legacy will crumble? That's like telling a boxer he has no right to rumble. Imagine telling a butterfly she has no right to fly. Then that butterfly has died before she has even died. Okay. Why is being right to strangers so much more important than being vulnerable at home? Probably because that little boy is just in a body that's grown. I like what he did there. Heal, kid, heal. It's the only way to really feel. Why is it that I'm soaring and my siblings are not? Probably because our father didn't give them the same time on the clock. Easier to spend time than money, like I said. Chase the money or chase the family. You can't do both because now you're gambling. Yeah. Why is it that you can't take the same heat as our mother can? Mama weathered the dragging of the, hold on here. Mama weathered the dragging of media for years with no voice, because she doesn't kneel to man. It's no challenge. The power of woman outweighs the power of man. How is it okay to ridicule one in public for their mistakes, but protect the other because of his role? My mother was broken for years publicly, and still from the concrete she rose. If people really knew your truth, you'd be strong like Mama too. And although she might not be, regardless of the damage, and although she might not be known for gold, no matter what her family put her through, her heart never turned blue. Fuck. Like, reading between the lines. I'm reading between the lines in my brain as I'm reading this, and it's like... Woo! Regardless of the damage, just look deep, because behind every great king there was a queen that carried on his curses that was never seen. I write this because although I didn't live the life that may have been painted in the scenes, I do understand, and compared to most, that me and my father has lived the American dream. But what about the ones behind us that were never seen? Just look between the lines of day and night. Whoa, that's so weird, because I was just talking about reading between the lines. No matter what you preach, this is how you save a life. I've tried and tried behind the walls that hide, but maybe social media is the only way to open up this giant's eyes. Well, his eyes are open, and he's losing his shit about it, because he can't stand that other people might see what's really going on, and that it might be a little bit on him that his fucking daughter killed her fucking self accidentally, not on purpose, but let's not get confused here. Let's be factual, but... Okay, let's have a moment for that. The coffee's wearing out, yeah. My eyes are just tired. Like I said, I think my brain's awake now and my face is awake, but my eyes are a little tired. So I was trying to read it, and then as I was like scrolling it up, I was losing my spot. But yeah, no. So he pretty much nails that right there. You know, we could see it. We were seeing it, and he doesn't really have to say much. You know, Master P keeps talking himself in fucking circles at this point. Like, Romeo doesn't even have to say anything. He's saying it all. He's saying it all in damn self. And everything I just showed you guys, all those different interviews, I think it's pretty clear with the, you know? Like, you want to take the credit when things are going well and everything's good. You want to take credit, but then when everything goes bad, it's not your fault. So which is it? It can't be only on you when it's good and, like, not your fault when it's bad. That's not how life works. Anyway, what else do we got here? I do got some articles and stuff, but I think that pretty much covered it. That was actually a banger. I, like, read the first couple lines of it, and I grabbed it up for the stream, but I hadn't had a chance to read through it, but everything we were pretty much talking about, like, he just summed that up in a nice little, I guess it was probably a rap, not a poem, but it's like, it's like kind of, it's the same thing. Like, a lot of songs started as poems, right? But yeah, that was good. That pretty much nailed it. And it's true. Like, he literally... And I even had to cut a bunch of stuff out. Like, where he was just trying to plug shit in every interview. Like, you're doing an interview, the first interview, speaking out publicly about your daughter that's dead. Like, recently. Like, it was 2 months after her death. And he's going into, like, finding a way to segue into, like, oh, like, PTSD and from soldiers. And that's why I made soldier snacks. That's why we have rap snacks. That's why I exploited all my children, and, you know, I drink from a golden goblet, because I think I'm awesome. Or whatever, I don't know. My impressions aren't doing so great now, with the tire. Oh, Lord, oh yeah, this one was a doozy, for sure. That's what I was saying, like, the more I was digging into it, the more I was like, yeah, this shit needs its whole own stream. Like, there's no way we're fitting this in at the end of a BAM appreciation stream. But yeah, so, questions, comments, concerns. But yeah, I didn't, honestly, for sure, me neither. I didn't know it was that serious either. And, like, I know Angel was bringing it up, and she's like, yeah, like, check out the Romeo thing. It's, you know, there's a feud, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah. And it's, you know, I see, yeah. But it didn't seem like such a like they're doing a really good job minimizing it in the media. And like I didn't even know the daughter had died until I really started digging into it. Like there are PR teams and groups of people in places that are getting real good at the cover-up stuff online, like making it like doing enough to bury the news. Oh yeah, I think it's some kind of like church thing or whatever. I think it was like what do you call it? Fuck, what are they called? In the Bible and with the name and then the numbers. Yeah, Angel Sunlight brought it to her attention, which was good. Like she knew there was more that needed to be, like, obviously there's a reason she was telling us about it to bring it to the stream because it's definitely right up our alley here. But on the surface, it really doesn't seem like much. It really, like, seems, you know, and it's like, yeah, all very, like, churchy and self-righteous and all these things that he's being right now. And, like, how, oh, we're going to do so much good. Like, we're going to use her name to help other people and, like, whatever. Like, I've been hearing him talk about helping all these people since fucking, maybe. I don't know what it's called, Jamie. There's that also. Those are also a thing. I don't know. Like Ezekiel 3:25 or whatever, that's like not a proverb. Fuck, I don't fucking know. Whatever. But yeah, like it's an exploitation of faith. It's an exploitation of vulnerable people, really. Like you're trying to capitalize on the mental illness of soldiers, and you're trying to take advantage of people that are trying to have faith in some kind of religion or something right now because everybody's fucking broke. Like the whole world's going to shit right now, and you're like, yeah, don't worry, just buy my Jesus juice. Have a side of soldier snacks. Or fucking whatever, I don't know, man. I can go back and see if you guys want to know exactly what his stupid sweater said. But honestly, I think just really, yeah, like, he's trying to take it and make it like a PR thing. He's trying to take advantage of the publicity, where the whole rest of the family, like, well, Romeo speaking up for his siblings and himself, obviously, like being the oldest, he's like, hello, how about you just come spend some time with your family over here and like let's think about what we can do differently next time because you've got several more children that need you to like get it together, you know? Because sure, he's grown, and the other ones, a couple other ones are probably grown now, but they got kids of every age. He's got one on for every age. It's like, fuck. Talk about, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it's like it's like the tip of the iceberg, and unless you really go and start looking, you don't realize how much is going on there, and it really does make Lil Romeo look like a spoiled rotten little brat at first. Like, okay, man, she's pretty much trying to tell them flat out what she needs and what's missing and what's going on, and they all ignored her, and then look what happened. Right? Yeah, I didn't even either. Like, I was like, oh yeah, Lil Romeo, like, okay, and then I'm like reading about just the first few things there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, alright, I see, yeah, there's a feud about Monday, that makes sense. He's getting older, he probably wants control of his, you know, whatever, his music and stuff, and he's probably some kind of battle between the label with his dad, and da-da-da-da. But, oh yeah, it goes deep. It goes deep, and it's very much like Leslie Carter. Yep. Oh, for sure, Screaming Daisies. You weren't here earlier, I guess. I guess you came in just after it, but I was pretty much saying, like, it tastes a lot like the Carter situation and how they went into the house at Carter's, the reality show, instead of doing family therapy in private, like they probably should have. And then, it was a few more years. I guess it's almost about the same amount, though, like 5-6 years later that the sister went. I think it was, what was it, like 2019 or whatever that she was on the fucking show? I don't even know now. My brain is, yep, I tuckered myself out. You got it. You got it, Tex. Ugh. But yeah, there was another part to the stream too. We ended up having to stop and restart again. So when I get a chance, because I think I might have ended up with a claim or two on that one. I don't know if it ended up going through or not. Sometimes you can catch it in time when it gives you the little notification, and if you just stop it, or if you like pause the thing, and sometimes you can squeeze by, but Yeah, I'll get those figured out and trimmed and then back public so you guys can rewatch for everything you guys missed, for you guys coming in right at the end there. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yep. Yes, yes, yes. All of the yes, Screaming Daisies. It's very similar situation. And, yeah, like, you were here for the poem, right? So pretty much how he's saying that, you know, you had all the time in the world for the kid that was making all the money, but what happened to your several other freaking kids, man? You didn't have time for them, and you left the mom to take care of all of them while you're screwing around all over Hell's Acres, spreading your seed like a fucking, whatever. I'm too tired for more ranting. We'll stay on it though. Like, I'm pretty much figuring like Friday and Sunday, because it's better days for everybody. Like, that's more when people have off and it's better to be able to be here for a stream. That's when we'll do like the big topics. And Wednesday's gonna be like just regular e-news, like whatever stuff that we've been covering, whatever comes up that's relating to stuff we've been talking about, the big topic stuff, then that's what we do on the Wednesday. I don't know. We'll start that schedule next week though, because it's already backwards. Because we're gonna do the general one probably on the weekend while we're doing that Outcast stream. But yeah, so thank you everybody. Sorry to those that have just joined us, but we are gonna call it now. Screaming Daisies, Vixen, Jamie. Who else is still in here? Martinez, if you're still here. Melissa, if you're still here. Ooh, Simone. Yeah, that's pretty much everybody. Siobhan, if you're still here. Anybody else that hasn't spoken in a while but still lurking? Everybody have a wonderful night, wonderful weekend. If I don't see you till after the new year, have a safe holiday. Everybody, same goes for everybody. Just drive safe, stay out of trouble. Have a nice time. Love each other. No stress. I know the holidays can be really stressful. Even if it's, you know, whatever. Anyways. Much love. Big shiny demons. Big and little shiny demons. And everything in between. May you shine bright tonight and all the nights. Alright. Ciao for now, guys.